Photographs will be taken with that magnificent trophy.
Thank you.
Okay, deep breath now. Remember your technique.
The Cazoo World Snooker Champion.
Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the English Institute of Sport. Today, snooker's arena of dreams, and we have fantastic drama ready to unfold over the next 12 hours. We've got one former champion, two former semi-finalists, two potential debutants, and 6 nationalities on display. And once again, we are joined by the darling of Dublin. Ken, they were literally queuing out onto the road this morning. There is such a buzz around this place. 8 men already through to join the top 16 in tomorrow morning's draw. Live on 5 Live, 8:45. Don't miss it. And another 8 spots up for grabs. Today is going to be huge.
Yeah, absolutely. Some great matches in store. And the crowds, as you've been talking about, they've been here all week. They really have supported this event. It's got bigger and better every single year. And the facilities, as the players said yesterday, are fantastic, you know. And it's great to hear the players say that, positive things. But yeah, the facilities out there, the tables are great, conducive to good breaks and good snooker, and that's what we've been seeing all week, and today will be no different. Lots of nerves, lots of tension, lots of drama, and lots of great snooker as well.
I totally agree. It feels like this is a ranking event all of its own, even though it's the lead up to the Crucible. Now, where were you yesterday? You missed some cracking matches. Here is the recap. Jack Lazowski took on Matthew Stevens, and the jackpot was in very, very good form. Remember, 17th in the world, only just failed to make it through automatically, but he's in tomorrow morning's draw. So too is Jack Jones. Excellent performance from him. Liu Heo Chan has made it through as well. Really good performance. Stephen Maguire through for a 20th Crucible campaign. Only about a dozen players have made it that many times onto the biggest stage of all. He was delighted to get through. 3 centuries on the way as well. Stuart Bingham back to his big scoring best. The champion from 15 survived a 7-3 nerveless match against Carrington and did so yesterday. Dominic Dale will be back at the Crucible for the first time since his run to the quarters 10 years ago. And Robbie Williams is back for the first time in 8 years. He came through a monumental match. And Ricky Walden, semi-finalist from 2013, beat the battler from Hastings in a tense decider. Mark Davis misses out, but Walden is in the draw. It was brilliant yesterday, Ken, and today promises to be even better. And I guess, from a journalistic point of view, all eyes on Robertson against Jamie Jones on table 1, front and centre. It's extraordinary when you think how much Robbo has won over the last few years that he has to go through qualifying, but rankings don't lie.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, he's had over the last probably year, you know, a very, very lean time for his own standards, very, very high standards. There's another good match and another great player as well, Hussein Vafai. But yeah, Robertson and Jamie Jones should be a cracker. But there's lots of great cracking matches. Noppon Sangham, can he make a maximum today and maybe get that prize of £147,000? That would be quite sensational.
It really would, and what a match that's going to be against Jackson Page. That's on the second page. Scott Donaldson against Ryan Day. Vafai against Zhang Jun. He's one of 2 potential debutants, and we've never had a year without a debutant. And watch out, Si Jiahui against Wu Yiziken. That's massive.
Absolutely, yeah, and that is one match I'm going to keep my eyes on because 2 cracking players, young Chinese, great prospects, and not only for today but also for the future, potential world champions, those 2 alone. So that's going to be a cracking match.
We mentioned Jackson Page and Noppon Siankan. They're 1-1 in their head-to-heads. Joe O'Connor, surprisingly, has never made it to the Crucible. He's taking on Matthew Selt, trying to get back there for the 5th time. Cao Yupeng and Pang Junxiu, so guaranteed a Chinese representative at the Crucible from those 2. And apparently, this could be Cao Yupeng's last ever match. Well, not, though, if he makes it through to the Crucible, where he last played 12 years ago in 2012. And Zhao Gudong against Dave Gilbert. Whoever could forget that incredible semi-final that Gilbert lost out to John Higgins by just a single frame. this has got the makings of a great day.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more the same of yesterday. Yesterday was great snooker, great drama, lots of close matches. And I think today will be very similar. But all eyes will be on table one to see how Robertson copes against Jamie Jones, who has a good record and has been a bit of a joint killer in the World Championship and particularly at the Crucible. So a big match there in table one.
Yes, because although he's never beaten Neil Robertson, he has beaten Sean Murphy twice at the Crucible. Well, Ken will be ably assisted, guided no less, by the big Don of the commentary box. He's in position. We had 2 pints last night and then very abstemiously we went to bed, not together. He's in the box. He's ready to go. It's going to be a brilliant 12 hours. Good morning, sir, to the one and only Dave Hendon.
Thank you, Rob. Understated as ever. Yes, well, what a day we've got. What a day. As you say, big crowds here, big expectation, big matches. This is tables 1 to 4. Neil Robertson, Jamie Jones on the main table. Ryan Day, Scott Donaldson, Zhang Vafai, Zhang Jun and Si Jiahui, Wu Yize on tables 1 to 4. And tables 5 to 8, Jackson Page, Noppen Senkam, Chai Peng, Pang Sheng-su, Joe O'Connor, Matt Selt and Zhao Gudong and Dave Gilbert, all dreaming, all hoping to get to the Crucible into the draw in the morning. Let's go to table 1 then. A lot of interest, of course, in Neil Robertson. I mean, the fact that he's in the qualifying seems bizarre, but results don't lie. Points have come off, points haven't gone back on, and that's why he's had to come to the qualifying for the first time since 2006. Very strong performance against Zach Surety, 3 centuries, 10-2, and he said himself the arena actually helps. You know, there's a lot of room around the table. It feels like you're at a main venue. And he's a heavy favourite here, Ken, but obviously this is the match he's got to get through.
Yeah, and I think that's important, you know, and particularly for someone like Neil Robertson, who's used to the big crowds, used to the big arenas. The fact that this arena is designed, you know, so nicely. Great room around the table, as you say. It's got the TV lights. The table, which I played on myself, is running beautifully. And, yeah. It's not like, you know, the old cubicle days, you know, of being in Prestatyn or up in the Guildhall even at times when we used to qualify up there for the World Championship. It was a little bit more cramped, a little bit more compact. But now it's almost like a proper TV venue. And, yeah, great conditions. And it's great, as I said to Rob, great to hear all the players commend the conditions, you know, and saying how well they are. They're nice and the tables are running beautifully. And, yeah, they've done a great job.
Jamie Jones, a tough opponent, but it is 7-0 to Robertson on the head-to-head. And in fact, one of those meetings was at the Crucible, 10-2 in 2015. So, you know, everything points to a Robertson win, apart from, I guess, just the pressure of the match. But as I say, coped very well with it in the previous round. As we start our coverage, as ever, do get in contact. You can tweet myself, Ken and Rob. I'm at Dave Hendon. Ken is at Ken Doherty 1997. Rob is at Rob Walker TV. And World Snooker Tour at We Are WST. And we look forward to hearing where you're watching from and any thoughts on today's matches, who you'd like to come through, who you'd like to see draw each other as well. We already know 8 qualifiers, of course, from yesterday. What sort of matchups you'd like to see. It will all be revealed. Well, this time tomorrow we'll know.
Yeah. Jack Lazowski, Judd Trump, John Higgins, Stephen Maguire.
Yeah. Friends reunited.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Has a chance at a possible red here into the left corner. Well, that was a long way away. He felt it was worth taking on because it was great value. You see where he left the cue ball. Didn't think he was going to be leaving anything, but of course that red coming back into the pack has left a gap for a red into the left centre. I think it's important for Neil Robertson to, you know, forget sort of, you know, everything about coming back to the qualifiers. Once he gets his head around that, because it will be a shock to the system, no doubt, you know. Oh, that looked like it rolled out. The way he was gesturing. And he's left it. Yeah, it's got to be the hard part for Robertson. It's about his psyche and his mentality, you know, because coming from the heights that he's achieved, listen, Robertson is one of the best players that's ever played the game. So it's a bit of a fall for him to come back to these qualifiers. So mentally, he has to get through that.
Yeah, this is the round that obviously is the pressure one, with 10 frames needed to reach the Crucible or not be part of it when it starts on Saturday. It's as simple as that. Jamie Jones has played there 5 times. He was a quarter-finalist on his debut in 2012. He's had some good wins there, actually. Quite a sort of combative character around the table. I like watching him.
8.
Obviously queuing right under that left eye.
Yep.
And what an opportunity, you know, to settle down into the match here for Jamie Jones. Robertson, well, he'd be very disappointed missing that red into the middle. Felt like it sort of rolled a little bit towards that far bump, but yeah, wonderful opportunity here for Jamie Jones. It's very important when you've had such a bad record as he does against his opponent there, Robertson, that you really want a good start, a good fast start here for Jamie Jones, just to give him a little bit of confidence, put his opponent under a little bit of pressure, and to try and win frames from situations like this in one visit. Very, very important.
Well, we want to keep across all the action for you, so we can just drop in on what could be the first frame to finish this morning. This is table 8. Dave Gilbert, former semi-finalist. He's up against Zhao Guodong. Quite a difficult one to call this, I think, but he played well against David Lilley. 10-4 in the last round at Gilbert. And just looking to settle in and make a nice break in frame 1. Gilbert's played at the Crucible 9 times.
Yeah, I like watching Dave Gilbert play. Lovely cueist. Just nice free flowing action. Oh, well, is that not commentator's course? I don't know what is.
A little click of the fingers as he goes back to his seat. As I say, that's just a chance to settle, but disappointing miss.
He certainly hasn't left anything easy here. I mean, this red, it does cut into the bottom right corner pocket, but cue ball's going to be travelling at pace, not able to control it. Maybe have to play it off maybe 3 cushions for a ball colour. 1, 2, 3, as he's got to stop short of the balk line. Yeah, he's done well there. Good shot.
Played 3 times at the Crucible, not since 2018 actually, so 6 years since Zhao Guodong last stepped out there. We had a chat, didn't we, with Dominic last night after his match, and he was buzzing, wasn't he, to be back there after 10 years.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, and what a great story it is. I mean, 52-year-old. Great character, Dominic. Very eccentric, of course, but yeah, still a wonderful character and a wonderful player still. Playing to a very high standard into his 50s, and yeah, it's going to be a great story for him. Yeah, Zhao Guodong hoping that red just below the pink pots into the left corner. And of course, you can play for blue here, just stun into the pink, open the pink and that red just to the left of the red that he's going to play. And then all of a sudden, wow, this could be a wonderful chance of a steal.
he's got the angle, he can just stun either behind this red or play it for the left middle. So into the corner or left middle, whichever he prefers. Played it for the corner. He's okay. And that red that's close to the left-hand side cushion, there's plenty of room behind that, so you won't be too bothered about that. Well, amazing miss from Dave Gilbert, and good chance for Gudong here.
Yeah, he's got a very steady style. He doesn't rush into shots. He doesn't sort of... He's not an emotional sort of player, but he's very effective. He's had a maximum in competition and twice runner-up in a ranking event, including the Shanghai Masters.
Yeah, he's very steady, isn't he? But he's a very straight cueist. Just watch his back arm here. Look how straight it is onto the cue. Nice setup. Very simple, economical cue action. Played that nicely. Now the key, when pot this red, get a nice angle on pink or black. Try and get in behind the red. As close to that left-hand side cushion. I think black I'd favour here because he's got more options with the black. With the pink, he'll only play it into the bottom left corner, so anywhere between the cushion and the red would be good with the cue ball. Oh, that's just amazing. An inch or two shorter, an inch or two farther, and it was perfect. That's possibly the worst place he could have landed. Still has a pot to the right centre, but certainly missable now and not guaranteed to be on a colour. I think we just stay with this, Dave, will we, and see if he just pots this red.
Yeah.
If he pots this red, I think he'll go on and win the frame.
Not to be. So Gilbert, 21 in front, relieved to have another chance to put the frame away. But a lot of interest, of course, on Neil Robertson. We'll be back with this match shortly, but Jamie Jones, he didn't win the frame at the first chance when Robertson missed that red to the middle, 54. But he got back in, and this is a strong start from the Welshman. He's going to win this opening frame. He wants to take the game to Robertson today. A lot of talk about his opponent. He wants to get to the Crucible on his own terms, of course.
$61.
Yeah, and he's a confident sort of player, isn't he? He's confident in his own ability, believes in himself. That's half the battle playing any sport. I'm not afraid of taking 62. On the big names on the big stage. We saw that with some of his performances at the Crucible.
67.
Okay, well, it's going to be 1-0. I can tell you Dave Gilbert's won that frame we were watching as well. Let's try and get as much action as possible. 68. Table 5 is Noppen Senkam, Jackson Page. Noppen Senkam, the maximum man, of course, from the last round. Brilliant stuff. And of course, if he makes another one, he gets the 147,000 bonus. He's up here against Jackson Page, and, well, yeah, not ideal on this. Still needs brown and blue.
Yeah, just left that cue ball a bit short. Now,
even if he pots this Brown. He's got to be careful. Cue ball racing around the table. Got to be careful of the right centre pocket here. Quick glance at the score. He's 13 points in the lead. Needs this blue. Good shot right in the middle of the pocket. And a straightforward pink to follow. And Napan Sangham made that magnificent 147 in the last round. Has won the first frame.
Well, yeah, let's, while we start our coverage, look back on this. These are the closing moments of the maximum. He seemed to control things really well. The pink, and Neil Folds always makes the point, he's never on its spot in a 147. It's always something to sort of think about. But he's a very cool character, isn't he? Very calm and, well, just a lovely bloke, actually.
Yeah, lovely guy, very humble, always smiling. And that was a lovely shot, wasn't it, on the brown? I mean, he's perfect on the blue, just to hold it for the pink. Nice on the pink as well. Stretch a little bit, but being a right-hander, it's okay. It's on his good side.
Always just want to be nice on the black. Not bringing up any memories, Ken, for you, but
it's actually a very similar black to the one I missed. You know, we've got a bridge off the cushion.
Yeah.
And he played it the way I played it, which is possibly the wrong way, but he got it. I missed it, and he got it. Wonderful. What a great occasion for him. Yeah, look at lovely, lovely guy. I think everybody's pleased for him.
Well, Ryan Day here last year against Scott Donaldson made a 146, and of course Scott sadly was not feeling well at 4-0. He retired ill. They're meeting again. Ryan Day, he's a real stalwart of the Crucible. He's played there 14 times, 3 quarter-finals to his name. 18 in the world. He can actually get back in the top 16, even though he's not had the best of seasons, really. Just the vagaries of the points coming on and off. He's not had many points coming off. So if he qualifies, he could actually get himself back in the 16. As you can see, he's 10 points in front in frame 1.
Oh, it doesn't like the angle on that brown. So maybe can't get close to these two reds. Might have to play the red from distance. Just make sure the brown, leave a long red.
He's another player in the Malden, and we saw some yesterday, the likes of Dominic and Ricky Walden. They're really established players, very accomplished tournament winners, experienced to playing at the Crucible. Stuart Bingham, dangerous basically is what I'm saying if they qualify.
Cued that nicely, didn't he? Nice angle on the black as well. Yeah, completely agree, because he's got experience. You see this, look at how well he cued this. Stayed nice and still. Cue went through in a lovely straight line. So 22 points. So there's still a little bit of work to do. He's straight on this red. He's going to have to, like, might screw it in up for the blue. Now just trying to make sure of it.
41.
So left himself. The reason I thought he'd play for the blue is the blue would have been easier, but this is a little tester, particularly sort of for frame ball. Oh, just wriggled in, but in nonetheless, and good pot from Ryan Day. Scott Donaldson needs a snooker.
Yeah, so one snooker needed, and we'll let you know how Scott gets on. He's going to be in one actually as he comes to the table, so not going to be easy. But let's go to Joe O'Connor and Matt Selt. Now, O'Connor made an 88 break in frame 1. Of course, he is looking to play at the Crucible for the first time. There's only him and Zhang Jun, who could be debutants now. All 4 potentials lost yesterday. Matt Selt has a few Crucibles under his belt. 4, in fact. But it would be massive for Joe O'Connor. Made a maximum, of course, this season in the Championship League. The 200th in snooker history.
80.
He's been in a ranking final, of course, the Scottish Open last season, lost to Gary Wilson.
Yeah, very steady. Very accomplished player. Joe O'Connor, very methodical, takes his time. No good. Didn't like that pink, too straight on it. I don't think he's left anything, but missed pink nonetheless, and a missed chance.
Okay, well, a bit of a false dawn in that frame for Joe, but we'll see plenty of this match as the day goes on. Let's go back to table one, though. Jamie Jones, very strong start. He knows, as I say, a lot of the focus is kind of on his opponent. He doesn't care about that. He's here to do a job himself. He had a 79 break in the end in that frame. Thanks for the messages we've had so far, by the way. Just going through them here. We've got Ryan Brennan. He says he's got these earphones in, listening while working, and that's in inverted commas. Robbo getting through to face Trump or Ronnie. And Maguire against Higgins, Sejol Wee against Brissell. That would be a rematch. They'd be the dream first round matchups, he says. Kelly Barker, been watching in the office since last week. Working hard until 11 this morning, but now winding down with the snooker. That's the way to do it.
Winding down at 11 o'clock in the morning. Wow. That is the life, eh?
Daniel doing some university work and watching the qualifying. Looking forward to some close games. We've got Ryan in slightly murky Dawlish in Devon. Interested in Ryan Day, Scott Donaldson. We've just seen the end of that frame, of course. Or actually, Scott's playing on for snookers.
17.
Here's one. Martin Elliott, all the way in Manila in the Philippines.
Wow.
Enjoying the snooker. Martin Elliott there. John Derby, 1999, watching from Aintree in Liverpool.
Brilliant.
I hope he's not still waiting for his horse to come in, is he?
It ain't going to win now. Johnny Wyatt in Eastbourne, in East Sussex. Would love to see Sejol Wee do well. Great cue action. Have a great day. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you to you all. And we'll keep across the messages. But Sejol Wee's lost the first frame to Wu Yizu. We will see some action from that one in due course. Chow Yupeng has won the first frame against Pang Jung-soo. And Zhang Zhun has won the opener against Hussein Vafai. That's a very interesting one. Not a lot is obviously known about him, really. New professional, just 18. Not been past the last 64 of a ranking event until getting to this stage of the World Championship. But all of that makes him dangerous, really, a bit of an unknown quantity. Hossein would be a heavy favourite there, but there's no certainties at the World Championship qualifiers.
Oh, and as we watch Jamie Jones prance around the table, he sort of bounces around, doesn't he? Puffs his chest out when he plays. And he's one of these confidence players, though. You know, he could get on a little roll. Another good chance here for frame winning break. And this is what he needed to do, just to let his opponent know.
30.
Now the attention is all on you, but if I get my chance, I'm going to take it. So beware. Not afraid of the big names, Jamie Jones. Got to be careful, though. That's a big waistcoat. Particularly the back of it. There's some flaps on that, isn't there, hey? Ah. I've seen Ryanair airplanes with smaller flaps than the back of that waistcoat.
Well, he kind of always looks really determined. He's got a great one of these with a great march around the table, Jamie. But already he's looking confident here. 79 in the first. Great chance to go 2-0 up. got into that a little bit, that cue ball. Yeah. Still okay. From a hotbed, of course, in Neath in South Wales. Went to the same school as two other players, Michael White and Daniel Wells.
Yeah, they're like the Three Musketeers, those lads, aren't they? They're always around with each other at tournaments. Lovely lads. Lovely part, actually. Neat, played there in another exhibition. Lovely spot. Played with Daniel Wells and
40.
nice little town. Hotbed of snooker. Love their snooker down there, South Wales.
Don, he's watching in Belfast. He says, I'm a massive snooker fan. My birthday's on Saturday. Can I get a mention? Well, consider it done. Happy birthday, Don.
You can get a mention, but you can't get a ticket. We can't even get tickets coming down. This time, the cue ball has just ran a little bit too far. He's mispositioned, so good safety shot. 44-point lead. Happy birthday, Don, by the way.
Jimmy Jones.
The Running Mushroom. The Running Mushroom was watching from Germany. People all over the world, as far as where was the Seoul yesterday, Korea, New Zealand, Charlotte, Illinois in America, South Africa.
Yeah, and I'm sure there'll be plenty watching in China as well. And this is an all-Chinese affair. Si Jiawei, semi-finalist, of course, last year. Wu Yize, who qualified, lost to Neil Robertson, actually. And he's very highly rated, and he's won the first, and he's in the second. Just slightly lost his way, though, as we pick it up.
48.
Yeah, a little shake of the head. He played Neil Robertson, who, in 2 of the last 3 frames, made 2 1-4-6s against him. Welcome to the Crucible. But he's improving all the time. He got to the semis of the Women Open this season.
Yeah. Really good young prospect. Plays up in Dingjing Wee's Academy. I see him up there daily with his father. Diligent practicer on the tables up there. Always overcut that, is he? Oh, well. Good shot.
50.
2 for the price of 1. Now, a little tester. Blue up to the green pocket. But if it goes in, well, it's 2-0.
Blue.
These are 2 wonderful prospects, these 2 players. Look at that, how well he's cued that. But yeah, of all the Chinese, the young Chinese players coming through now, I think these 2 lads here are possibly
55.
the pick of the bunch. One from Victoria's Academy, that's Si Jiawei. And of course, we'll use it from Ding Junhui's Academy.
56.
Got Anda Zhang as well, a little bit older, but these are, what age would these be? 18, 19, Dave?
Well, Wu Yize is 20, Si,
yeah.
21, but,
Yeah.
you know, it's a good age to be, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you can still improve. I remember Alan McManus played Wu Yize when Wu, I think, might have been a wild card. He would have been about 16, and Alan said he's a player. Yeah. He could see it in him.
Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely a player. And of course, well, how well did Si Jiawei play in the World Championship last year? So close to getting to the final. 15-4 ahead of Luca Brissell. Look at that for a shot. Beautiful.
61.
Forced it in off 2 cushion. Perfect on the red.
62.
Yeah, great start. Still needs blue and 1 more red to take a 2-0 lead.
Another lovely positional shot.
67. 68.
Okay, so snooker's required, but I don't think Si Jiawei is going to get the chance to play for them. It's going to be 2-0 and a fast start from Wu Yize. Of course, there's another very interesting Chinese player in action, Zhang Jun, who's just 18, first season pro, 111 in the world. He's won the first against Hussein Vafai, and he's got a chance here, Ken, already for 2-0. He's come all the way from round 1.
Yeah, amazing. Nice young lad. Lovely cue action.
20.
Playing without any fear or even acknowledgement of the occasion, which is so refreshing to see in a way, you know, just absolutely loving it. Loving the challenge. sure there will be a little bit of nerves, there's no doubt, but at the moment, well, that one's just gone slightly wrong.
What makes him dangerous? Okay, he's not quite played that well, but he's got no mental scars from the World Championship. He's got no crucible scars, no losing in the final round 3 times, nothing like that.
Yeah.
So he's just, it's kind of not quite a free hit, but he's not the same as some of the other guys.
Yes, good point. Oh, this is very dangerous. Very dangerous shot to take on here. Yeah, was it worth it? Has he got cover? He might have got cover with the blue, you know. He has. Been very fortunate.
Couldn't quite accept the fact he'd lost position, but of course he's a young guy and they tend to go for their shots. Well, we want to see as many matches as possible, so we're going to just drop in on another all-Chinese affair, Pang Zhongzhu and Chow Yupeng. Now, Chow Yupeng is 1-0 up and close to 2-0. In fact, if we join it, he just needs this blue to get to the snooker's required stage. He hasn't played at the Crucible since 2012. In fact, he's only played there once, so 12 years. The biggest gap between first and second appearances is 13 years, Jamie Burnett and Barry Pinches. And as Rob Walker was alluding to, there's suggestions this is actually going to be his last event. He's sort of thinking of packing it in. Well, we'll see how that might change if he gets on a run at the Crucible.
Yeah, I spoke to him about that actually. He's thinking of you know, moving back to China, be with his family, and of course play on the pool circuit, Chinese pool circuit that Mark Williams spoke about in Manchester a couple of weeks ago. It's becoming very lucrative. Lots of big tournaments, lots of money. And of course, the fact you can understand it, can't you? Because he'll be close to his friends and family. I think he's got a young family.
Yeah.
So that's important.
Well, 57 in front, and Pang has conceded. I can tell you Wu Yiza made a 1-3-1 against Si Jiahui, so looking good. This is table 5. Noppen Senkan, we saw won that first frame. But the next one, frame 2 in the balance against Jackson Page. Page 22 in front. As we pick it up here, he's on a break of 29. And has just potted a red, so... Yeah, well, that's the difference, really. He didn't try anything sort of bold there, as closed the shop, rather than sort of trying an exhibition brown to get on the red. Whereas we saw, of course, young Zhang Jun push the boat out a little, although he's back in, actually, in that frame. Jackson Page, we saw at the World Open get to the semis. Lost out to Judd Trump, but that was his best run, and that was, of course, recently. His best run in a ranked event just a few weeks ago. Ooh, now this will be a free ball.
Jackson Page 5, free ball.
So, sensible safety shot has given him this chance. He's 27 in front. So if he potted blue and black, he'd be 35 in front with 35 on. Blue obviously counts as a red. So that's what he's thinking. Pot the black and Sengam can only tie.
Yeah, small target, this red, though. And once again, yeah, because of it was so difficult to get to the red, he's just played for the red to lay another snooker behind the brown.
Jackson Page 8.
Got to hit it. And he's gone round the back of it. So it's looking like it's going to be one each here.
Jackson Page.
Neil Robertson is in frame 2 on table 1. It's a free ball actually here, so it's looking like Page's frame. So let's go back to table 1. Here is Neil Robertson. It's not an easy table, this, obviously, but he's got himself back into the frame. Jamie Jones broke down, as we saw earlier. Well, Neil Robertson, of course, he's already come through a match. He's always interested to listen to, great talker, and he was talking to Rob about, well, about events that have led him here.
Look at the tournaments I've missed. Like, because obviously I had the Players' Championship, Tour Championship, all the winners' points all coming off. You know, but if you look at the, you know, I missed too many events. I've missed the Grand Prix, Players' Champs, Tour Champs this season, the 2 last, you know, so, and you rack up a couple of other tournaments I've missed through illness and whatever, you know, you're getting up towards like 10 plus ranking events I've missed the last 2 seasons. You can't really do that. You can't afford to do that. So, you know, that's next season. You know, I don't want to miss anything if I can help it.
Just while we watch this frame, a few more messages. Derek's in South Vietnam. He says, if Robertson loses, will he be the best player not to make it to the Crucible? Well, it'd be a shock, I guess.
Yeah. Probably after me, I suppose, yeah. Only joking.
Richard Prue says, I'm enjoying the coverage. This undoubtedly will be the toughest set of qualifiers ever. World champions, ranking event winners and young talent. What's the record for the first round qualifier winners at the Crucible? Perhaps the 16 might challenge that. I'll look that up in the almanac shortly, Richard.
Yeah. I think there's a lot to be said. Well, the standard is getting better every year, isn't it? You know, so it could be one of the hardest and toughest draws in Judgment Day and the final day of the qualifying. Yeah, so many good players.
Well, this frame is going to take a while to resolve itself, so let's get to table 2. Ryan Day on a big break. Reminder, they played last year and Scott had to pull out after 4 frames, but within those 4 frames, Ryan Day had a 146, and again, he's bringing the big stuff right away. This for a century.
Yeah, good stuff from Ryan Day. Classy player. And he's just got a little sort of glimpse of the crowds in there. They looked absolutely packed. Not a seat available on those front tables.
Just while we watch this, Jackie's watching in sunny-ish Lowestoft. Looking forward to another exciting Judgment Day. Bet on Zhang Anda to win at a good price.
Yeah.
Great interview with Dominic yesterday. Lovely he's back at the Crucible. He's certainly a character. You're not wrong there, Jackie.
And it's good to see, according to Rob Walker, that he's back in love. He has a new love. And he's making him play better snooker. How's that? We're all happy for Dominic. Maybe his walk-on music might be Je t'aime. Do you remember that? Je t'aime. That would be a good walk-on music
Don't
for
give him any
Dominic.
ideas, Kev.
Yeah. Do 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 do.
123.
A reminder, the draw will be tomorrow morning, 8:45 UK time, live on the BBC 5 Live and the website, which you can
129.
hopefully access where you are. 136 for Ryan Day. If this black goes in, terrific stuff.
136
So 2-0. And it's also 2-0 on table 4. Wu Yiza is already 31 in front here, so he made that terrific 1-3-1. And, well, what a start from him. Si Jiahui, of course, such a memorable qualifier last year. I mean, arguably should have been in the final, but for that comeback from Luca Baselli would have been. Can he get back there? Firstly, he's got to keep this man away from the table.
Yeah, what a blistering start from Wu Yiza. 2-0 up on 39 already. This match is not going to be slow, that's for sure. Whatever happens. Play for the red just below the pink there. Just
44.
wanted to be straighter on it. May have to go into the pink. Could take this other red into the bottom corner, but doesn't want to get the rest and extension out, so he might have to pot this red. Just play a little nudge off the pink. Back up for blue. Larry Harris is watching from Brookville, Ohio. He's heading to work soon, he says, and we'll be watching it from there. All these people have got great jobs, haven't they? I must say, everybody we're talking to are either watching it and work on their laptops, on their phones, while working. Great jobs they have.
Yeah, let's hope none of them are sort of heart surgeons or anything.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go into the AO, put a few stents in, but just keep that laptop there, will you? Just
it's 3-3.
I can't believe he missed that red. Hold on, just get that stent in there, yeah. Do you mind holding that laptop on your knees while I just cut you open there? Yeah, good lad. You don't mind.
See, Joey just being kept completely cold in this match. This is how your dream is starting.
Just as you say that, the cue ball has drifted towards that red. And it's come really awkward. He's bridging over the red. It's very easily missed. He's got to be careful here.
Yeah, it's just a bit of unnecessary sort of jeopardy is injected into this just as he looked certain to win the frame.
Well, if this red passes into this bottom left-hand corner, no, he's coming back to look at this other red, but this is very missable. Dangerous shot. Very dangerous shot. So good 58 break, but could have been a lot better.
Okay, well, we'll pick this one up in due course. See if CJ can get back into it. But lots happening all around the tables that we want to keep you across. This is table 7. Joe O'Connor already 1-0 up against Matt Selt, trying to book his Crucible debut. 41 in front in frame 2. Needing a couple of reds here for 2-0. There are quite a few meetings actually. Celt's 3-1 up on their personal head-to-head. But this the biggest match they played because of what it's in. The big screen is up in Tudor Square, just outside the Crucible. In fact, that hopefully this is going out on it. And they'll be showing the matches, of course, throughout the championship. They really make an effort here in Sheffield. I was reading in the local paper actually this morning about the local businesses all saying they love the snooker, of course. You know, it's basically a month now where people come to the city and spend money.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I've been living here for the last couple of years, and yeah, you can tell the sense of excitement, what snooker brings to the city, you know. People from all around the world, it brings a lot of money to the local shops and businesses and restaurants. Hotels are always full. Restaurants, even the local barber, he loves it. Taylor. Hard to get a booking in there when the Crucible is on, Dave. I think even you go in there now and again, do you?
Once every 3 years, yeah. So he's over the line here, blue over the pocket. It's going to be 2-0 to O'Connor. But what about table 1? That's been seesaw frame, that's second. And Jamie Jones has his chance to go 2-0 up here and put Neil Robertson under some early pressure.
And even though he won quite convincingly in his first round match, Neil Robertson against Zach Shorty, he started off slow. He won the first couple of frames, but he was edgy in those frames. Only that Zach Shorty didn't convert his chances. Jamie Jones is Looks like he's going to convert his. And he's putting Neil Robertson under early pressure in this match. Get a quick glance at the score. 16 points to the good. Yellow will be 18. It's just potted of red, yellow or green. And then yellow and green again.
Big early moment, I think. This frame was in the balance. Neil Robertson looking to do what he's so good at, which is take control of matches, but he's been unable to do that. Jamie Jones looking very determined here. He needs the green to lead by 23 with 22 remaining and effectively a 2-0 lead. And there it is.
Yeah, good stuff. Very good stuff from Jamie Jones so far. Robbie Watson watching in from sunny Coventry. He's getting married this year. Best of luck to you, Robbie. More importantly, best of luck to your fiance.
As long as you're not getting married during the World Championship, that would be a schoolboy error, wouldn't it?
Have the laptop going down the aisle.
23.
Well, it's very early. It's best of 19, but a little bit of concern for Robertson. Just the fact he'd have picked up how determined his opponent is looking here. Jamie Jones 2-0.
28.
We'll have a listen to this tweet. Jamie says, "My wife would love to know, Ken, is your hair natural?" I mean, how rude could you be, Jamie?
34.
He says, "I'm 33 and I'm already greying." Well, sorry to hear that, Jamie, but yeah. What an insult.
41.
Well, meanwhile, Jamie Jones has cleared up nicely. Big crowd in watching, and this was a shot he played to free this red. That was key to him winning the frame.
That's a great shot, wasn't it? Wonderful shot.
Now, on Friday night here at the Crucible, before it all begins, there is a special event. Inside the Crucible Theatre.
Welcome to a very special live edition of Snooker Club.
Oh my goodness me!
Hit the food into the kangaroo's mouth from somewhere away.
I shouldn't be laughing, why am I laughing? I mean, it's pretty horrendous.
Any snooker player could be prowling anywhere here.
Snooker Braysell! Now this is table 2. Scott Donaldson 2-0 down to Ryan Day, but with a chance here in frame 3. Scott Donaldson 50 in the world. He has played a couple of times at the Crucible, but not since 2022. Beat Joe Perry though in the last round. In fact, he's beaten Peter Lyons and Joe Perry, two very experienced campaigners, so that'll serve him well playing Ryan Day, who of course has made a century already. I'll run through the scores actually while we watch this, just to let you know what's happening. Jamie Jones 2-0 up on Neil Robertson, 2-0 here today over Donaldson, 2-0 Yang Jun over Hossein Vafai, 2-0 Wu Yiza over Si Jiahui, 1 each Jackson Page and Noppen Senkam, 2-0 Chow Yipeng over Pang Zhongzhu, 2-0 Joe O'Connor over Matt Sell, and 2-0 Dave Gilbert going 3-0 over Zhao Gudong.
48.
Donaldson just looking to get a foothold here in this match after the bad memories of last year. It's a shame what happened from Perth in Scotland, although there was a tournament, can't remember which one it was, where he was introduced as being from Perth, Australia, which is a little further from home.
Bit of a difference there, huh? In mileage as well as the weather, I'm sure.
54.
Brian's watching in Malmo in Sweden. The highlight of Judgment Day so far, he says, was Dominic Dale's face when Rob Walker mentioned his future father-in-law.
yeah.
We've also got someone watching in Luxembourg, who plays in, Rudy in Luxembourg, plays in some of the Belgian events.
61.
That should be Scott Donaldson over the line. Let's just see this pot. In it goes. So it's going to be 2-1, and as I say, he's on the scoreboard and feeling better about things. Dave Gilbert's made a good start on table 8 against Xiao Guodong. He's 2-0 up, and as we join it here, he's 51 in front with 51 on. So just looking for one more red in. The yellow safe-ish favours him as well. Oh, what a pot that is.
Yeah, lovely shot. He looks to be playing pretty well, as talked about, his lovely free-flowing cue action, Dave Gilbert. Quite long.
Okay, so it's going to be 3-0. Great start for Gilbert. And framing the balance here, Jackson Page and Noppen Senkalm on table 5. 1 each in the match. Senkalm with the chance to go 2-1.
A chance to take this red out as well while potting this red. Knock the red over the middle pocket. Oh, he tried it. Maybe disappointed actually, because that was a really good opportunity. He has an opportunity with the pink now, but a bit more difficult.
Oh, this is a great effort. This is a brilliant shot.
What a shot. Oh, that was just quality. Beautiful touch, lovely pace. And now should win the frame from that, and it's worth. Deserves probably to win the frame from playing a shot like that. It was beautiful.
Yeah, we don't do the hot shots here, but that might have been on the reel.
Just thinking about Dominic's walk-on music. What about John Paul Young? Love is in the air, eh? That came in from Ryan Rysdale, who's watching. Yeah. Great karaoke song, that. Love is in the air. Dominic is quite an accomplished singer as well. He loves the old tunes, doesn't he?
He certainly does.
Bit of Elvis.
He was like his own jukebox at the shootout. Every interview he did, there was a new song.
I asked him once, did he like Elvis? He says, uh-huh.
He's here all week, folks. So Senkam over the line here, 2-1. But Neil Robertson in early trouble, as we saw, 2-0 down. He is in first in frame 3 here against Jamie Jones. Just looking to impose himself a little on this match. He made 3 centuries in beating Zach Surety 10-2.
No.
Although he did start a little slowly in that one, but let's see. There's plenty of time, of course, and he can use his experience. It's worth saying, though, at this early juncture, the last time he missed out on the Crucible was back in 2004, so it's been 20 years. He's been there every year since, mostly as a seed, of course. First time in qualifying since 2006. And, of course, for so many of those years, he's been one of the 2 or 3 favourites. Of course, 2010 champion. Hasn't been in the one-table setup for a decade, though. Right now, he just wants to be in the 2-table setup.
Yeah. And I think that's what I was talking about earlier. Once he gets his head around that, you know, because it is a bit of a culture shock coming back to the qualifiers for someone who's been so successful as Neil Robertson has.
50.
I mean, as I said, and I don't say it lightly, one of the best players that's ever played the game. And a lot of boys of the top 16 will be watching today as well. They want to see, does he get through, because he's definitely one that they want to avoid in the draw. If he does, he's going to have to come through a tough
22.
match against Jamie Jones.
That's it. If he qualifies, he's the #1 player. You want to avoid, clearly, but he's got to get through first. This is his own sort of battle before the main event on Saturday. He was talking positively about his game. He just reached the semis of the World Open. In fact, probably should have got to the final. Just lost out to Ding. In pretty uproarious scenes there. Ding was escorted off by a SWAT team, police SWAT team, because the crowd was so jubilant at his victory. Worth saying, mentioning Ding, of course, when he had to qualify in 2016, he got to the final.
$23.
Nice tweet from the Mariners down in Torquay. Says great coverage, listen, from the English Riviera in Devon. I'm looking forward to seeing the draw tomorrow. Yeah, keep the tweets coming in. Great to hear from wherever you are in the world, what you're doing. Whether you're in work or you're dusting or skiving off, or where you're watching it, your phones, your laptops,
29.
TVs, YouTube, Facebook, Discovery, and Matchroom, isn't it, Dave?
Yep.
All the platforms. There you see, look at that, lovely crowds, great atmosphere, great for the players as well. I think that's important, you know, these people, they're avid snooker fans, but they're coming out to watch quality snooker. £12 for the whole day, both sessions, great value, but it's important not only for the fans but for the players. You know, there's a great atmosphere, it's a great sense of occasion this Judgment Day, and it's great to have crowds here, you know.
Well, Robertson disappointed, I guess, to lose position, but just a safety, and he'll have to be patient. Well, we'll just leave this one for now and go over to table 6, which is a close frame. Chow Yipeng 2-0 up on Pang Zhengzhou. Pang made his debut at the Crucible last year. He played Ronnie O'Sullivan on day 1, and actually, after a slow start, played well in the evening session. Only lost 10-7. $25 in front, and he's going to get a chance at this yellow, which of course is all he needs to win his first frame. Just looking at the scores, it'll put him 27 in front with 25 on. Yeah, nicely played, and he's on the green. So just settle him into the match, just winning a frame. That's all you're really looking to do early on, is just to get involved. Of course, he did reach a ranking final last year, the WST Classic in Leicester, Boston Mark Selby. Not a televised event. It was streamed, but it was put on to replace the Turkish Masters.
Yeah, you look at his hand, his bridge hand, it's very, very similar. I mean, he plays, Ding is a good friend of his, and he helps him out quite a bit. But just have a look at Pang Zhongzhu's bridge hand. You might not see it here on the rail, but maybe see it when he plays the pink. Very, very similar to Ding, very similar style. Not as sort of free-flowing with his cue action, a little bit more methodical than Ding, but just watch his bridge hand and his finger particularly. Now, off the rail again. Just a minute I mention it, of course, 2 rail shots. I mean, how's my form? We'll have to come back to that one.
Yeah, so 2-1, he's on the scoreboard, and there'll be plenty more chances to observe him as the day goes on. Dave Gilbert's made a blistering start. Look at this, 3-0 and in for 4-0 against Zhao Guodong. Dave Gilbert looking to book a 10th appearance at the Crucible. Just looking to press on here. Interval coming up. Doesn't want to open the door, give Zhao Guodong a bit of confidence going to the break, give him things to think about. Instead, just looking for a nice positional shot here. Wow, really got some action onto the white.
Yeah, I thought it might actually work out even better. He's trying to split up the reds, but he's got close enough to this red on the left-hand side of the table that he could have a go at it up into the green. He's just having a look to see, is there anything that he's going to be leaving? Should he take this red on? I think the only red he could leave is the one he's playing. This goes in. At the moment he's knocking in everything, but tough shot. This looks wide, but he's played it. Just have a look how he's played it. Very cleverly getting the cover should he miss, and that's exactly what he's got. Unless there's a gap. Don't tell me there's a gap between the green and the blue. I know JV says there's always a gap, but at this time, well, he's having a good look at it. Surely he can't get through blue and green, can he? Maybe not to pot it. Yeah, just to play safe. Oh, it's going close to the middle. Oh, he's unlucky there. It's a good shot.
I can tell you, Noppen Sangam, he just had 4 reds, 4 blacks early on against Jackson Page. Broke down, though. Obviously, if he makes another maximum, he gets the massive bonus, the 147,000. So, Dave Gilbert not 4-0 up yet, but a good lead there. Now, Neil Robertson just looking to win his first frame. And here he is ahead in frame 3 against Jamie Jones. Not too much more to do. 46 in front, 59 on.
19.
So red and a black here. Just checking that on the scores. Red and a black would leave Jamie Jones there needing a snooker. Oh, but.
Neil Robertson.
Well,
19.
have you ever seen Neil Robertson miss such an easy red? I mean, he's complaining to himself. He's gesturing like it's rolled off, but they can't all turn off. This never looked into me. There. Always to that jaw. I mean, what a chance he's missed there. Okay, he's still got a lot of work to do, Jamie Jones, but he'd be just delighted to get back into the chair. And to see his opponent miss shots like that, well, that'll only give him confidence. And eat away at that man's confidence as well. That will really annoy him.
Yeah, just needed red and black. Unbelievable.
I mean, why don't you just stun it in? Like, if you only need the red and black, just stun it in. Take the...
8.
If there is a possible roll-off, take it out of the equation. You know, they're simple, straightforward things that you would teach any sort of young snooker player, never mind someone of his experience. But he can't take advantage of it.
Jamie
That's
Jones,
a let-off.
Massive, yeah. That could have been a big blow to land, but he's not landed it. Robertson just needs to take a breath here, and it should be 2-1.
Well, we're still on the topic of Dominic Dale's walk-on music as Rob Walker joins us in the studio having a look at the snooker. But walk-on music for Dominic Dale. Somebody shouted in "C'est la vie." Ian Hewitt says "C'est la vie" from Bewitched. That could be a good one. Love Is in the Air, yeah.
Well, at this rate, there'll be an album released of Dominic's walk-on songs.
Might be a double.
Anyway, Neil Robertson has got more serious things to think about right now, and he can forget about the ready miss because it doesn't look like it's going to cost him.
I said Je t'aime. What about Je t'aime? Do you remember that song years ago? Dominic Dale knows that, I'm sure. He probably knows the words of it as well. He could probably sing it.
So that black should get him over the line, but it's been a difficult start. Jamie Jones ruining a serious chance there to really twist the knife in this match. Well, that should be enough. I think Jamie Jones will play on for snookers, but well, in fact, he hasn't. He's conceded. So 47 in it, 35 on it, concedes. Neil Robertson, it wasn't clean by any means, but he has won his first frame. It was still very early on in all of these matches, of course. A lot of drama still to come. Remember, they play 9 frames, and then they're back at 5 o'clock this evening to play to a finish. You can see the packed crowd here. As Rob said, they've been queuing up outside the English Institute of Sport here in Sheffield for quite a while before the doors opened, not wanting to miss any of the action. And there's plenty of action to keep across. It looks, by the way, like Gilbert is going to go 4-0 up. We saw him ahead in that frame, and he looks like he's about to get over the line. So great start for him. We've got Noppen Sengam 2-1 up, as we saw against Jackson Page. Wu Yi's a 3-0 over Si Jiawei. Zhang Jun 2-0 over Hossein Vafai. But as I say, we are in the early stages of these matches. But now let's go back to the studio and join Rob.
Thanks very much, Dave. Before we get into some analysis, Ken, you've just thought of another Dominic Dale walk-on song.
It just came to me. Voulez-vous, voulez-vous.
Voulez-vous. Okay. We'll park that one for now. Ken, it's great to see you on such top form. It's an exciting day, and it's a privilege and a pleasure to be here. Now, back onto the snooker, and I know you're not allowed to have favourites and so on, but in some ways, I'd love to see Dave Gilbert back at the Crucible. You know, when he plays well, he's absolutely irresistible to watch. Yeah. And what a start he's made in this match.
Yeah, good start. He's 3-0 up, possibly looks like going 4-0 up. Yeah, but just want to have a look at his cue action, Rob. Now, watch on the take back. Now, you see, he's very unusual to other players. So watch how far the cue goes back. It comes all the way back to sort of the groove between his thumb and his index finger, and it's very, very unusual, which means you've got to be so accurate because the cue is coming back a long way and it's also gone forward a long way. Now, if normal players, they'd only sort of bring it back a little bit, but he brings it all the way. The tip almost comes back to here, which is very, very unusual, but very effective. He's got a lovely free-flowing style. He had worked with Steve Feeney. I'm not quite sure whether he's still working with him yet. So he has used this sort of sight-right method. And I think over the last few years, and we saw how well he played in that semi-final that you mentioned against John Higgins, just losing out by the odd frame. But yeah, when he gets on a roll, very quick score, beautiful to watch, really good cue action, very steady on the shot as well, very important. And yeah, very effective, but very unusual.
Well, and that's one of the reasons why he's brilliant to watch. He can be very hard on himself, and he can seem to implode a little bit when things go wrong. But he is absolutely in the groove at the moment. Now, a beautiful shot to bring you here. Noppon Siankam with the rest. I think Jackson Page and Noppon Siankam has got the makings of a match that could go all the way. And this was a moment of perfection from the Thailand player, wasn't it?
Yeah, lovely shot with the rest. I mean, he tried to knock out the red with a red. But just have a look at this. And it's not only getting the red out, but just look at how delicate it was. The pace was absolutely perfect. The connection on the red was perfect. And perfectly played to leave the red into the middle and go on and win the frame from that position. But yeah, wonderful. If we had a Hot Shots compilation, that would be right up there with one of them.
Well, and he's putting himself in the conversation. I know, Sean Murphy and Kyron Wilson always talk. They trade a bit of banter about who's best with the rest.
Yeah,
that shot from Noppon was pretty special.
Yeah.
Now, just before we head back to Dave. What a missed opportunity for Jamie Jones when Neil broke down on that red. Jamie had a great chance, and that would have hurt to go 3-0.
Yeah, absolutely. A wonderful chance. And these are the chances that, when he sees Neil Robertson sort of gesturing, saying what was a red in the first frame, and he's thought that red rolled off as well. But to be honest, Neil looks a little bit edgy, and Jamie should pick up on that. He should sense that, and that was a wonderful opportunity. But he missed an easy red, didn't he? And he'd be sort of kicking himself, and Robertson came in, and it's now 2-1. But yeah, interesting sort of little sort of body languages between the both players already early in that, and there's a lot of nerves out there, a lot of tension, and even the great players, which Robertson is. He's feeling a little bit of tension out there at the moment.
Huge prize on the line. 8 men will be joining 24 currently in tomorrow morning's draw. Back to you, Dave.
Oh yeah, we're just going to table 6 because Chow Yupeng was on a maximum while you were chatting, but he can't stay on the black, so we're not going to see another 147 here. But he just wants to win the frame, of course, and he's a couple of balls from doing that. Well, he's going to play the black, actually. He is going to play the black, so he's going for the maximum. He's not won the frame yet. He's obviously said he's stall out here. He wants the 147. And in goes the black, but he's lost the white. He's looking for a cannon. Surely that's the end of it now, unless he can fashion some sort of plant here.
Well, I'm just looking at 2 reds there, Dave. Are they a plant into or can he make the plant? He's having a look at it now. He just wanted to clip that red, just didn't need to hold the cue ball. Now he's looking at the plant. I mean, a lot of players would have sort of maybe played for the blue there, and just to make sure and try and get another red and make sure of the frame. But if he takes this plant on, it's very dangerous. But maybe his mindset is, if this is his last match, or possibly unless he qualifies, that he's gonna go for the maximum. So a different sort of philosophical approach.
Well, he's determined to try and keep this going, so here we go. He hasn't won the frame yet, there's still 75 on. Yeah, so, as I say, he hasn't won the frame yet. But we saw what was in his mind there.
Oh, it's just a crazy shot to take on. I tell you what, he might rue that. Yeah, now see his bridge hand there. You see the way he's sort of forefinger and index finger just slightly raised. I mean, when you watch Ding Junhui play, it's very, very similar. His index finger is slightly raised off the base, and he does a very similar thing. There you see it, look. As I said, he plays in Ding Junhui's academy. He's very close to Ding. Oh, well, can you believe it? Oh.
Ooh. Not a happy chappy.
Yeah.
Does need snookers, in fairness, but a little bit of frustration boiling up. So 3-1 to Chow Yupeng at the interval. So Neil Robertson's on the scoreboard. Let's see the early throws here. of this next frame. Let's just see if winning that frame settles him down. It took a bit of winning, let's be honest.
9. $16.
He's got to play this with the rest. Maybe if he has a small little extension, he might be reaching. He's quite a tall person, well over 6 foot, so not too bad. Yeah, nicely controlled.
17.
Very nice. Nicely on the black.
Just run through the scores while we watch this. As we 2-1 here to Jones, 2-0 to Ryan Day, and snooker's required. Sorry, 2-1 to Ryan Day against Scott Donaldson. Snooker's required by Donaldson, so it's looking like 3-1. Still 2-0 Zhang Jun Hussein for 5, which we will get to shortly. Wu Ye's a 3-0 up on Si Jiahui. Nopin Senkam 3-1 up on Jackson Page. Cha Yipeng, as we know, 3-1 up on Pang Chung-Su. Joe O'Connor 3-0 up on Matt Selt. Dave Gilbert did win that 4th frame, 4-0 up on Zhao Guodong. Well, let's have a look at table 3, because Zhang Jun, a real surprise package. He's come through from round 1. He beat Amir Sarkosh, Fang Zhengyi, of course a ranking event winner, Sam Craigie. And here he is against Hossein Vafai, one of the favourites to qualify, but it's 2-0. Looking to bring this red away from the cushion and try and go 3-0 up. And that is what he's done. He's brought it away.
Yeah, he's played that nicely, hasn't he? I mean, this is quite incredible.
16.
Scoreline. Not a lot of people would have expected this, but said this young man playing without fear, just really enjoying the challenge of it, not really thinking too much about the enormity of the situation, and it's very refreshing to see. Lovely cue action. $17 points in the lead, so yellow and green and brown required. Got a slight angle on this yellow. I'm just wondering, does he have to use the cushion, or just can he, checking the scores, can he just screw back without hitting the cushion just for the green? Doesn't want to really go near the blue. And that's okay. And the good thing for Zhang Zhong is that if he gets close enough to brown, just drop the brown in. He doesn't need to get on the blue.
Well, there's only 10 players who played at the Crucible who've been either 17 or 18 years of age. Luca Purcell, the youngest. Zhang here is 18, so it'd be extraordinary, really, if he qualified completely out of nowhere. But he's made a great start here.
33.
And there'd be no heroics with this blue. He'd be just rolling it, you would expect. Just roll it in or over the pocket would be perfect. Well, that's what he should have done, but
2 snookers needed. Vafai, he's staying where he is. OK, let's go back to Neil Robertson and Jamie Jones. Robertson still on this break. of 41, which is also the lead. Oh, this is a lovely shot. That could be a frame winner. That's good aggressive stuff from Robertson.
48.
Playing to his strengths. And poised
49.
to make a big break here. Now, it's worth saying he made 3 centuries against Zach Surety, and that's taken his tally in the World Championship to 99 over the years. So this could be his 100th World Championship century. There's only 5 players who've made that many in the tournament. You can probably name them, but I'll do it for you if you want. Stephen Hendry, John Higgins, Ronnie O'Sullivan, Mark Selby and
56.
Sean Murphy have all made 100 centuries in the World Championship. That's qualifying and crucible. So this would be quite a moment if Neil could do it here. He loves his stats.
57.
He'd probably be aware. But the main thing is he got back into this match because Jamie Jones, when Robertson missed that red to this left corner in the last frame, Jamie Jones had a chance to clear up for 3-0. It didn't happen. And Robertson now the danger, Ken. He starts to motor.
Yeah. We sort of
64.
just settled in. And like, I know it's an old cliche, but it's so very true. You know, you don't settle until you get that first frame on your board. Now you see the effects of just getting that frame. So important. And now we can relax and try and concentrate on, well, first of all, winning the frame, and then concentrating. On the century.
65.
I'm not saying Robertson was sort of taken for granted going to the Crucible, but he was so used to being there as a seed, he's had to rethink really his whole approach, but there's still a chance to prove to everybody as if it was needed what a fantastic player he is. The problem is when you're such a regular winner, you're judged to very high standards. You've only got to dip off a little bit and suddenly the question marks are there, but it's in his hands to turn it all round.
Yeah.
71.
Quite an occasion, wasn't it, when he made that century of centuries in a season? First person to ever do that. That was against Judd Trump in the at the World Championship a few years ago now. Judd Trump emulated that feat.
72.
They're the only 2 players, aren't they, in the history of the game that have achieved that?
Yeah, the amount of just pure concentration you need to keep making them,
yeah.
You know, match after match. I mean, there was one match, a best of 7 in that season. He made 4 in 4 frames.
Yeah.
$79. $80.
So just starting to play with a bit more freedom. I think it was a key shot when he went into the Reds. He set his stall out, okay, no more sort of hesitancy, I'm going to go for it. And of course, that's his best game.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's what I'd love to see Neil Robertson when he's playing at this sort of pace.
88.
There's been times during his career where he's been sort of over ponderous and shot time has gone out, got bigger and bigger, but I think maybe he's just realised that he's a better player. He just looks a lot more freer,
95.
a lot more confident when he's playing at, you know, 20, 21 seconds, maybe a shot.
96.
Well, here we go. This black is for his 100th century in the World Championship over the years. He didn't particularly want to come to qualifying, but he's starting to play the sort of snooker we're used to seeing from Neil Robertson. A little landmark moment for him. Only the 6th player to have made 100 centuries in this great World Championship.
103.
Yeah, well done. Nice record.
He's missed that one, but 103, and it's 2-2 at the interval.
Make it exactly half past. Where are you going to be? Practice room.
Noppen Sengham, of course, 3-1 up. He made the maximum in the previous round. We can hear now from Thailand's Noppen Sengham.
But the first question has got to be about the maximum, the 147. What a place to do it.
Yeah, I'm so happy because actually before I go to China, my cue have a little bit problem about the faro. So after that, I got to fix it, and then I come here. I can't practice well because a little bit short than before. So I feel like no have any follow through, and my cue ball wasn't good. So I'm not feeling like confident, but I'm surprised I make 147 in a match. I'm surprised.
And the reaction from the crowd here at the English Institute was fantastic. You got a huge reception when the black went in.
Yeah, I'm very excited after I popped the back. I'm so happy, and everybody like, oh, come on. So I like, this is like football stadium, you know, like, come on. So happy to be here.
Now, table 3, Hossein Vafai needs to get involved in this match. He's 3-0 down to Zhang Jun, but as you can see, he's at the table early in frame 4. Trying to get the reds open, didn't quite work out. In fact, he hasn't worked out at all. And the white is going in, and a red has come up the table. That's calamity for Hossein Vafai. Nothing's going for him today.
Good chance for Zhang Jun there. Okay, let's go to table 7, see what's happening between Matt Selt and Joe O'Connor. Joe O'Connor in again.
Yeah, chance for 4-0 this is.
Yeah. And not a sort of scoreline I certainly would have predicted at the beginning. Okay, Joe O'Connor, probably slight favourite. But Matt Selt, well, he's just got to be patient at the moment. Joe O'Connor making all the running here. And another good chance here. Look at the way the reds are spread. What a blow this would be. Go 4-0 up into the mid-session interval. Lots to contemplate for Matt Selt. Should he lose this? Good opportunity for Joe O'Connor here.
Yeah, he's very well regarded. Of course, he's been in a final ranking event. He got to the Players' Championship semi-finals, which obviously is a very elite tournament, just 16. That was last season. This season hasn't been quite so stellar, but of course he's not over yet. He did reach the final, actually, of the Championship League, not a ranking tournament, but he made the 200th maximum in snooker history there. Lost out to Mark Selby in the final, but won a lot of matches, got a lot of confidence on board in that event. But of course would love, as all snooker players would, to walk out at the Crucible for the first time. It'd be one of those, he'd probably draw Selby, wouldn't he? We have feelings about who might draw each other, just the sort of friends and people from the same area.
Yeah. Am I right in saying he's a bit of a jiu-jitsu fan or some sort of martial arts, isn't it, that he practices quite a bit?
Yeah, times have changed since the Werbernet years, haven't they? Players are all very conscious about their fitness now.
I exercise every morning, Dave. Up, down, then the other eyelid. So, nicely on the red. Try and stun between. Cue ball between. So you'd have a choice of maybe pink or black here. May just hold for the black. He needs a little angle on one of the colours so he can get over to the right hand side of the table for his next red. He's played for the black, but the angle, that was always the problem. He just had a stun in between pink and black. He could have had the choice of two, but now didn't pull that cue ball back far enough so he could just get close to the red. He'll have to play it sort of from mid-distance.
Yeah, so big shot in this frame, in this match already. Matt Selp desperate to get in. He has been in, of course, in this frame. And he's going to be in again. At least back at the table. Just to say, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 matches at the interval. Or sorry, 5 matches at the interval. So actually moving pretty quickly again. It was quite an early finish really last night. It was done by sort of 9 o'clock. Now Selp can trap him here, put him in trouble.
It's going close to that corner pocket. Good shot there from Matt Selp. Yeah, you saw Joe O'Connor just look away, sort of in disgust of that missed opportunity, and it was down to that penultimate red. He just didn't get nice on the black. Instead of stunning in between pink and black, giving himself some options. So now he's in a bit of trouble here.
Just while he looks at this, Ken, James Cook is watching from LaGuardia Airport in New York City, waiting for a flight to Colorado.
Wow. I thought you were going to say he was waiting for a flight to Sheffield there for a minute. Now, can he hit this and get it safe? There's a lot of room around the back of that red. Could miss it. Oh, that's nowhere. And if it goes in off, well, he hasn't left the free ball, so Matt Selp will take this red on.
So Matt Selp knocks the red in. Well, he's not happy with this. Oh no. Well, he will let you know, Matt, if he's not happy, and he's done it there. Could still take the green on. Okay, well, let's go to table 3 because we want to keep across the Vafai match as well. It's a big one against Yang Jun. Another potential debutant. Vafai desperate to win a frame. He's got a chance here, although that could have worked a bit better.
22.
He's under it right now against a very dangerous opponent he won't know much about, who's playing pretty good stuff.
Yeah, he's not happy, is he? Just came sort of, that red was in his way to take on this red into this left corner pocket. He's just sort of bridging over it slightly. So he may take the red into this right corner pocket. Bit of a stretch.
Well, when you're 3-0 down in the World Championship, you don't really need to be facing these sort of shots. This is, of course, missable. But he hasn't missed it. If he's anything, we know he's passionate, Hossein Vafai. And as we watch this, let's listen to what he said after his last match.
How close are you to your best form this season, do you think?
It's hard to say because when I really want to play, you know, I can play really well. But mentally, it's hard to put myself in that kind of situation. And but I've been finding the way to how to perform like that more and more. It's just a matter of time, as I said every time. It's just a matter of time. I'm getting used to everything now, and then I'm learning lots of things. So I'm not going to drop any more information. And yeah, it's something between me and my mind, myself, and my friends. Yeah, I'm not going to say what I'm doing, what I'm not doing.
Well, the very best of luck in Judgment Day. 1 match to go, and you're in the main draw for the Crucible.
Thank you so much, Rob, and thanks everyone who's supporting us. Love you all. Cheers.
Yeah, 1 match to go, but in that match that we're watching, he's in a bit of trouble here.
Yeah, under a little bit of pressure. Massive frame, this. Last one, of course, mid-session interval. his opponent. Zhang Jun growing ever more in confidence. His hand very close to that green. Referee keeping a good eye on that. No. So chance missed.
We've had a few more messages and we're trying to keep across them all. We've got Willie here watching Spain, working and watching the snooker with my 10-year-old boy, Manuel. Doesn't get better than that. And then he says, Ken, are you sticking with Ten Hag this summer?
Oh, good question, Willie. Good question. We'll have to wait and see what happens on Saturday against Coventry. Come on, Man United, get into the final of the FA Cup. That's all we have to. That's all our hopes are pinned on with the rest of the season. Willie, I hope you enjoy watching United. Although I don't think any of us have the last little while. But we'll cling on to the FA Cup hopes.
And thanks to Stacey as well for saying, loving the commentary. The humour mixed with stats and general commentary is impeccable. Thoroughly enjoyable. Great duo. How about that? We could take this on the road, Ken.
Yeah. On the road to nowhere, Dave. That's another tune. Might be Roy Walker music.
Well, I tell you what, he's been lucky here as young Zhang Jun. Things just going for him. He could easily have left a red on there. I was saying, obviously 27 in front, so not much more to do, but needs to see a ball first. Lee Seymour was saying about Dominic Dale's walk-on. He said, well, how about Jola Taxi by Vanessa Paradis for when he walks out the crucible with the trophy?
Jola Taxi, yeah. I remember that song. Sort of giving me age away there. Vanessa Paradis. Wasn't she married to Johnny Depp at one stage?
Absolutely. See, it's lots of information here, isn't there?
Yeah.
About all sorts of things. Now then, he hasn't been lucky this time. He has left a red on, so can Vafai win his first frame here?
Yeah, there's another song somebody tweeted in. What about She by Charles Aznavour or Elvis Costello? I think he sang that as well, didn't he? She.
I'm really interested to know now what it's going to be when he plays.
Yeah. I like Voulez-Vous. What about you?
Well, Dominic's he likes his opera, doesn't he? I wouldn't be surprised if he went a bit sort of old school and surprised us all. Meantime,
hold on.
Is it in? It is. Wow, that could be a big moment for Sain Vafai.
That is unbelievable, isn't it?
He needed something to happen, and it happened.
How lucky was he there?
12.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically one in the frame. Obviously, snooker's needed, but
only one. Only one snooker needed, so he's got to be careful. Oh, that is not good. Now you could play the snooker here, or you could try and get on the black and maybe play a snooker on the yellow. I mean, it's important that he gets a black with the last red at some stage. So why not now? It's a good opportunity. Straightforward red. Get on the black and then play for a snooker on the yellow. Pink is in a good spot for snookers. Yeah, good choice. 1 4-point snooker, and then of course all the colours only to tie. So, yeah, opportunity here when potting this black though.
Well, I'm going to make way for Rob Walker, and it's an interesting stage, isn't it? We're sort of quite a few matches back from the interval, but some big couple of hours ahead in this first session.
Yes, Dave, enjoy your lunch. We'll see you back in a little while as Rob and I will discuss more walk-on possibilities for Dominic Dale. Please keep them coming in. We're having a bit of fun about it, you know, Dominic Dale's. You might wonder why we're talking about it. Well, he has a new girlfriend, and Rob Walker reckons that's why he's playing so well, because he's in love. Look at that for a shot. He's a little bit unlucky, actually. A little bit tighter to that pink, and this would have been very difficult to hit. One cushion for Hussein. He's got it. Yeah, so keep your tweets coming in. I'm delighted to... a lot of people tweeting in, watching the snooker all around the world, different parts. Let us know where you're watching from. Where are you watching it? In work. Wherever. And we're coming up with... just having a bit of fun, I suppose. Coming up with possible tunes for Dominic Dave's walk-on music. What do you think it will be? I think, being the spaceman, maybe Space Oddity. What about Space Oddity, David Bowie?
Yes, but then
the man who fell to earth.
I just think the nod to his new love life is it would be quite funny. He's certainly generated a fair amount of banter. What about Snooker's Lothario, Snooker's Romeo, the spaceman Dominic Dale?
Okay. Yeah, as I said, that pink is in a good spot for snooker, so... the sign has got to be aware of that. I would try and, well, maybe in or over the pocket for the green. Try and force his young opponent to pot the green and less colours to maybe snooker from.
Well, Cao Yu Peng is back at the table against Pang Jung Siu, leading 3-1, and he's on a break of 38. So perhaps we'll have a little look over at table 6, as this might take a while here on 3. And we've had a message from Matthew Large visiting the Crucible on Monday morning, hoping to see the spaceman. Perhaps he'll break out for some Tom Jones, or maybe. Well, Cao Yu Peng has now broken down. He was on a break of 38. Pang Jung Siu needs to do something here to stop the rot.
Well, this is an incredible scoreline on table 4. Xijia Wei, who got to the semi-finals last year, is 4-0 down to Wu Yize. We were talking about Wu Yize. I mean, he's a wonderful prospect, but already making his mark in the snooker circuit, even at his very young age. And look at that scoreline, 4-0. Now, we thought this was one of the cracking matches to have a look at today. Both great prospects and potential someday world champions. I've no doubt about that. Didn't expect this for a scoreline though. 4-0, Wu Yize.
Amazing. Last year he beat Alan Taylor, Chan Peng Fei, Chris Wakelin, and then lost to Neil Robertson 10-3, bidding for his second Crucible. There were signs though when he made the semis of Wuhan, beating Marco, Ryan Day, Stephen Maguire before losing to Judd Trump. Trump, of course, was on the middle of that incredible three tournament winning run. So when he gets on a roll, Wu Yize, he is dangerous. Ivan Hershkovitz was reminding me that we'd been talking about his nickname, Snooker's Fizzer, Wu Yize. And when he's quick, he really is absolutely brilliant to watch.
I like that. Snooker's Fizzer, Wu Yize. And he's playing, well, that red in the middle, the previous red, and that little black there, what a shot.
37.
When he gets going, Rob, I tell you, I've watched him quite a bit over the last couple of years, because I see him practicing with his father in the academy in Sheffield. As I said, he's a very avid, very diligent, hard worker. Oh, we could have hit that just a little bit harder. Got a full ball contact as opposed to maybe a quarter ball would have been better. Could have played it a bit firmer. gone slightly wrong. Maybe on this red into the right centre, but bridging over the red is very missable.
The same FIE did indeed get that frame, so they've gone off for a break. It's 3-1. Jamie Jones and Neil Robertson have resumed on table 1, and Jamie's at the table on a break of 19. Remember, missed that opportunity to punish Neil Robertson's missed red to the bottom left, and that could have put him 3-0 up. All of a sudden, pegged back to 2-all, but he is at the table, the Welshman, on that break of 19. Dave Gilbert and Zhao Gudong are back in action on table 8. Gilbert took all 4 frames in their first mini session, and he has a lead of 39 points in the 5th. So the semi-finalist from 6 years ago is going very well indeed on 8. But let's just stay with this and see whether Wu Yize can continue to turn the screw on last year's semi-finalist, Si Jiahui.
Yeah, that was a really good red. Okay, didn't have a great angle on the brown. Had to try and force the angle of the cue ball towards these 2 reds. But he's still in a good position as we look at him switching the left hand. I mean, such an important shot, but he's very confident with the left hand here. Oh, maybe a mistake. And, well, he's been so lucky there. That could have been so much more straightforward for Si Jiahui.
Lots of messages coming in. Keep them rolling in on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. Callum says, surely the spaceman needs to come out to the Rocket Man. I think Ken has mentioned that. Keith Hopkins, it's got to be love struck by madness, hasn't it? And how about this from Martin Laird? I've got YouTube on the TV and Matchroom on the phone. I'm sipping a hot chocolate with Baileys in Sydney. Great to see Robbo coming back into the match. Although, by the way, Martin, his opponent, Jamie Jones, oh, it wriggles in. His opponent, Jamie Jones, now on a break of 32, but they're locked at 2 frames apiece. Martin Laird saying, what time is the draw for the Crucible? Will it be televised? I'm not sure whether you'll be able to see it, Martin, because it's on the red button in Britain and it will be on the BBC Sport website. Whether that goes global BBC Sport, I'm not sure, but you probably will be able to find an opportunity to tune in on 5 Live. Local time in Great Britain, it's 8:45 tomorrow morning, and we will have the full draw. And I believe Mark Allen is flying over from Belfast to be with us at the BBC studios in Salford to give his thoughts on whoever he draws.
Yeah, it's going to be very exciting tomorrow morning. Now, can he... I don't think that red is potable, but what he could do, he could try and maybe disturb red and green from the black, and if not, just get that cue ball somewhere up into the bulk area, and, well, he could lay a very, very difficult snooker for his opponent. Yeah, he's looking to see this a red pot. I don't think the red pots, but if he gets that cue ball up into the bulk area, he could lay a really, really difficult snooker and be, well, have the full advantage.
By the way, Jackson Page has just pulled one back. He now trails 3-2 instead of 3-1 against Noppon Siankam. And Dave Gilbert is just about getting to frame ball for the 5th. He's on a break of 29. He's ahead by 68 on table 8. As Jamie Jones is also closing in on frame ball on table 1. His break now 63. Remember, they're 2 frames apiece.
Dave Gilbert playing very, very well there, table 8. Not a great shot from Si Jiahui, quite short with the cue ball, so he couldn't get the cue ball tight behind the green, but, well, he settled for that. It's a full ball snooker. We'll just stay with this for the time being, just see what happens, see how it unfolds, and then we'll move around, Rob. What do you think?
Yes. Well, in fact, Gudong is back at the table. Gilbert's mini break has come to an end. He needs 1 snooker. Jamie Jones, barring a snooker, is over the line in the 5th. Yep, and he's now got another red, so that will be that. So 3-2, the Welshman will edge in front once more.
Can he cut this red in? He's gone for it. He's got to be careful of the cue ball. Oh, no. How unlucky. Oh, and look where the yellow has landed. You never know where that cue ball is going to finish when it's racing around the table. No control over it, but that is highly unlucky. Free ball, I'm sure. Is it? Could be a free ball.
That was seriously unlucky for Si Jiahui.
Now, what does he do here, though? That's the question. What can he do? Play the free ball, leave the cue ball down this end of the table. Leave his opponent snookered, or does he?
The applause, by the way, is for Jamie Jones on table 1. He's taken the 5th with a century. Still has 1 red left on the table. This is an excellent break by the Welshman and a good response from seeing Neil Robertson draw level from 2-0 up. Why don't we go and have a quick look just to see what the state of the table is over on 8 between Xiao Guodong and Dave Gilbert. Gilbert is just about over the line. He really has started this match fabulously. 4 on the spin against the former Shanghai Masters runner-up and shootout runner-up.
Well, Guodong was gonna 60 behind, just 59 on the table, so snooker is required. Let's have a little wander around, shall we? Let's go back to that. Let's see, Scott Donaldson, Ryan Day. What's happening over there in table 2? Because this could take a little while. Yeah, let's have a look. Ryan Day's back in. 3-1 up. But what's happened there? Has it ran across the slate line? Is that what he's looking at? That was quite unusual, wasn't it, Rob?
Very, very unusual, especially for somebody as composed as Ryan. And I was talking to Ivan in the press room, Ken. Ryan can go missing from tournament to tournament, but when it clicks, he's a very, very heavy scorer when he gets his rhythm going, as he proved when he won the, what was it, his 4th ranking title at the British Open, beating Mark Allen a couple of years ago.
Yeah, totally agree. Very talented player. But you're right, he can go missing for a little while, but when he does come back, and he's playing well, he's a match for anybody. Trying to play on the blue there, but look at that, where the cue ball is finished. The red is blocking the path for the blue. He has a pink that he could cut in, but once again, not 100% sure with the cue ball. Let's go back to that table 4, shall we? Because I think Si Jiahui is still in a bit of trouble with the snooker. It hasn't been resolved yet. He's trying to get out of snooker right next to the yellow and the black. Oh, great shot. Yes, he hit it. He hit the yellow. What a shot that was. What an escape. Just grazed the yellow before the black. And referee Queenie Liu, who's all the way from China, was right on the case there.
She did a great job at the Tour Championships in Manchester. She really enjoyed that week.
Yeah, and it's great, you know, for her and indeed for Peggy, who's over here, to get the opportunity, and particularly for Queenie, first time you know, in the UK, getting the opportunity for a major championship. Very competent referee, great experience, of course. Referees a lot of the tournaments, if not them all, over in China, the big ones. Oh, he's missed that. And a free ball as well. So, wow, what a turnaround.
Well, he needs this, Si Jiahui. Struggling to get on terms with his compatriot. Desperate to give himself an opportunity to replicate that incredible run to the semis last year. He's really under it here.
It might be one of these where he might not take... Okay, he's looking at maybe positioning the cue ball down on this left-hand side, but he might not take the free ball here because it's an easy enough snooker to escape from. But if he knocked the yellow around the table, left the cue ball where the yellow is, if he could do that, then it would be a much better choice of shot, I feel. What's he gonna do? Or he could, well, what about playing off the pink, Rob, and trying to get the cue ball next to the black? And that would be a very, very difficult escape then. Slide off the pink, try and nestle that cue ball just short of the black or beside the black. You see this shot, okay, he's got the snooker, but it's a straightforward escape here. But maybe the next shot, when he comes back to the table, he could be in a bit of trouble. He's played it well. He's played it well.
Huge number of messages still coming in, most of them involving Dominic Dale. Chris Dunn from Norwich, the home of Barry Pinches, he says, the look of love for Dominic Dale. Very much enjoying watching the snooker here.
How about Must Be Love from Madness? I know you mentioned Madness earlier, but what about Must Be Love? That would be a good one as well.
One of their best songs. In fact, I was listening to that this morning in the apartment getting ready, along with baggy trousers. Pat Coldrick enjoying the commentary and the snooker, lads, from a wet and rainy Dublin. Hope it stays raining so I can stay in.
Charlie McCormick says, how about right said Fred, I'm too sexy.
Oh my God.
That is outrageous.
The images of Dominic Dale, I reckon he'd pirouette down the tunnel.
Yeah, that would be right up his street, actually. I think that's a really good shout so far. Well done,
That
Charlie.
would be ridiculous. By the way, Jackson Page, at the very split second I say that, Jackson Page was on a break of 27, having reduced arrears from 3-1 to 3-2, but his break has come to an end. He still leads by those 27 points. Xiao Guodong is battling on in the 5th frame against Dave Gilbert.
Right, let's move around because this frame is taking a little bit long. Let's go back to table one. Let's see what's happening with Neil Robertson and Jamie Jones.
Well, an absolutely tremendous break. A 1-3-5 from Jamie Jones to re-establish the single frame advantage. But Neil Robertson with the first opportunity in the 6th. Let's stay with this and just see how comfortable Neil Robertson looks around the table. 23-time ranking event winner. Twice a champion of champions, twice a Masters winner. One of the finest our sport has ever produced, and I think everybody has been surprised to see him hit the doldrums. But embracing the challenge here, 10-2 against Zach Surety, but he's not having it all his own way here against Jamie Jones.
Yeah, and that wasn't a great shot. Look how far the cue ball is from the red. I mean, should have been so much closer. Now, Is he on this red to cut in into this left corner pocket? He's taking the more difficult one. Needs to be cued well, this. Oh, that's a wonderful shot. Great shot from Neil Robertson. And a nice angle on the black. It doesn't have to go into the pack, but he's got a wonderful angle and an opportunity to do so. He'd still be on the red into the left corner. Doesn't like it. He's got to take the opportunity, surely, to go into the pack here. Taking his time. Oh! Well, can you believe he found that gap? He's okay, but that was... Well, it was hard to believe. Have a look at this, gone right through the gap of the red and the pack. Amazing.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon to Olivia. Judgment Day stream getting me through my final week of my master's dissertation. P.S. How about living the vida loca? Ricky Martin for Dominic Dale. Question for you, Ken, from Pat, who was the same chap who mentioned about rainy Dublin. He's noticed a lot of players, when they strike the cue ball, the tip of the cue rises at the tip end. Were we not taught to keep the cue level throughout? Always wondered about this.
Yes, absolutely, yeah. I think if you keep it level, and watch this, see how level he keeps it. Neil Robertson, one of the straightest sort of cue actions in the business. He doesn't raise the tip end. I think when you raise the tip end, what happens is you lose that little bit of extra power.
38.
So you've got to keep it on a plane as long as possible, so you get the perfect and the right strike on the cue ball and the right reaction as well when you need it. And Neil Robertson is a great exponent of that theory. Wonderful cue action, lovely and straight. He's been struggling a little bit with this little break, but he's still going strong. He's bridging over here. He's got a possibility of a red with the rest as well.
Now, after we've seen Neil Robertson strike this, we need to head over to table 7 because Matt Selt, whisper it quietly, has a chance of you-know-what. Let's go over to table 7 if we may. Just asking our directors. I know we're leaving Neil Robertson on this break of 38, but on 7, here he is. Well, we've already had a max from Noppon Siankam. Matt Selt under some pressure from Joe O'Connor, so at the very least, whatever happens with this attempt at history, he's reduced his deficit. Can he keep this going? Oh, we jinxed him. So no maximum for Matt Selt. Neil Robertson's break has come to an end. Right, let's go over to table 8 if we may. Zhao Gudong is still trying to wrestle his way back into this frame. Remember, Dave Gilbert was first in to the table, so let's head over. There we are now. Dave Gilbert has been on the verge of securing this 5th frame for about 10 to 12 minutes, but just can't quite get over the line.
Oh, wonderful shot. He got within range, Yao Gudong. To needing just, well, he could have won the frame. So he obviously got a snooker, but now needs a snooker once again. 28 behind, 25 remaining. So 1 4-point snooker required.
The same Vafai's on a break of 34. Remember, he trails the would-be debutant Zhang Yun 3-1.
Let's go back to Jackson Page, shall we? And Nopon Sangham. 3-2 at the moment. 27 left on the table. 31 ahead, Jackson Page. So maybe all square there, barring snookers from Nopon Sangham. Well, there you had was the Jackson Page 5, so that was a foul. So that means it will be all square, 3 apiece. Where we go next, Rob? Sijia Wee has got his first frame on the board, so it's 4-1 to Wu Yize now.
Yes, he desperately needed that.
Let's go back to table 1, will we? Let's see what's happening with Neil Robertson and Jamie Jones.
Yes. Clark. In fact, that ripple of applause, Neil Robertson has just absolutely drilled a long red into bottom right. Here it is. Trying to once again draw level as he did from 2-0 down heading into the mid-session break, and then we had that marvellous 1-3-5 from Jamie Jones. Robertson's never lost to Jamie Jones. He's won 7 matches between them, but Jamie is a World Championship quarter-finalist who's beaten Sean Murphy twice at the Crucible, and I just get the sense, I don't know about you, Ken, I think Jamie really suits the long frame format. He loves the best of 19s and the best of 25s, and he won't be overawed by Robertson, and he would have been looking forward to this match.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's a big-time player, loves the World Championship, loves the, you know, the best of 19s. And yeah, he would have looked upon this match, even though it was just the toughest draw that he could have faced, but he would have looked at it as a challenge. As I said, he's beaten and taken some big scalps in his time, and particularly, you know, the Crucible. He's had some good runs there, some good wins, and he started off really well in this match. Went 2-0 up, had a chance for 3-0, missed it. But Robertson is starting to find his range now, which may be concerning for Jamie Jones, but it's only going to get back on level terms should he win this frame. So long way to go. But Jamie Jones definitely not overawed, no way. It's not in his makeup, Rob, not in his makeup.
Dave Gilbert did eventually get that frame, of course, so he's 5-0. Wu Yize 4-1 up on Sijia Wee. The same Vafai as a lead of 50 in the 5th against Zhang Jun. Let's stay with this just to see whether Neil Robertson gets himself over the line and draws level. Jackson Page is going to draw level on 5. It'll be 3 apiece between the Welshman and the player from Thailand. I just got a feeling that Jackson and Nopon is destined to go all the way. The last 2 times they've met, they've been deciders, albeit over best of 7, and he has now won that 5th, the 6th rather. So
yeah, how
3
about
apiece.
How about table 6? It looks like it's getting interest on the colours there. Pang Zhongzhu is 10 points ahead of Cao Yupeng. So this is quite interesting. 10 ahead, needs yellow, green and brown. Oh, lovely shot. Lovely shot.
I like Pang Zhongzhu, Ken. I remember commentating on him. I don't think I was in the box with you behind closed doors at Milton Keynes when Pang beat Stephen Maguire a couple of years ago in the UK Champs. He's not afraid of the big names and had an excellent run. I know Dave was alluding to the fact that he made the WST Classic final against Mark Selby last year. There's something about Pang Zhengxiu. I like watching him.
Yeah, he's very steady, isn't he? As I said, he similar sort of bridge hand to Ding Junhui. Tries to style himself a little bit on the Ding Junhui, but is a little bit more methodical, a bit slower. But he's got a wonderful cue action, and like a lot of the Chinese players in Sheffield and both academies, Ding Junhui's and in Victoria's, diligent workers on the practice table. Hours and hours he'd spend in there. He's got it back to within one frame. Where are we going next? Let's go back to shall we go back to table 1? Let's see how Neil Robertson has got on there in that frame.
Yes, Robertson on the verge of securing this frame. Nip and tuck here after that missed opportunity from Jamie to go 3-0 up. 2 apiece, 3-2.
Neil Robertson, 32.
And Jamie, barring snookers, has been pegged back to all square. Brilliant to have so many people here. In all the years we've covered Judgment Day and done the qualifiers before we called it Judgment Day, I can never remember such a big queue of people waiting to get in. It's been well advertised, it's been sensibly priced, and we've got big names. It's not just Neil Robertson on table 1 taking on Jamie Jones. We've got some cracking players all across the 8 tables.
Just having a laugh here, Rob. Someone's Simon Hughes has texted about a possible song choice for Dominic Dale because of his French girlfriend. He goes, "What about French kissing in the USA?"
I don't think mid-afternoon on the BBC. I'm not sure they'd go for that.
No, I don't think so. Funny one though. I like it, Simon.
I wouldn't put it past Dominic to try and grab the microphone when he comes out. He's an absolute beast.
He might sing his own walk-in music.
One thing's for certain, he'll savour every second of that walk on the first time. It'll be, you know, bringing back great memories of his run to the quarters when he last came to the Crucible 10 years ago. Why don't we nip over to table 4? Si Jiahui, having rescued a frame for 4-1, is now at a decent looking break of 39. So let's head over to 4. Captured the public's imagination with that run to the semis last year. Beat Sean Murphy 10-9, then beat the Milkman 13-7, McGill 13-12, and had that massive lead. What was he, 13-5 up against Luca?
15-4.
15-4.
Needed 2 more for a place into the... It was the greatest comeback ever in the history of the Crucible. Amazing. 11 frames behind.
54.
He won 13 out of the 14 remaining frames, Luca, and that, what an amazing comeback.
It was as though he was blessed last year. Remember when Williams pegged him back to 11 apiece and everybody thought, oh, you know, great effort from Luca, you know, having overcome Ricky Walton for his first victory on the Crucible stage, and he was nerveless for the last 2. What was he, 10-6 down against Ronnie?
Yeah, won 7 in a row.
And he'd only, do you know the most incredible thing about that? I think he had a 10 o'clock in the morning session against Ronnie. He'd only driven back from Belgium for the start of the match at 2 o'clock that morning.
Yeah, crazy.
It just, everything about it was so unorthodox.
Incredible. Well, that's what the World Championship does, doesn't it? It throws up wonderful matches, great memories, and that's what the Crucible does. And there's a lot of talk about, you know, Ronnie is saying in the, I've seen some headlines about maybe moving the World Championship away from Sheffield. He doesn't like it there, he says, but I think it's just wonderful. It's the home of the World Championship. It's got the great history, and there's no other place like it, and can create the drama that it does. The crowds, proximity of the spectators to the players, everything about it, you know, the 2 tables set up, the screen, and then of course when it goes down to 1 table, it's just very, very special venue. And no matter how much money people offer or countries offer around the world, I don't think it should ever move from the Crucible. Don't know what your own thoughts on it are, Rob, but that's just my own personal feeling.
I would really, really miss it if it left Sheffield. I really would. I love this city. My wife's from just down the road in Chesterfield. First time I ever met my mother-in-law was in a restaurant, Mama and Leone's. My wife came up for a couple of nights and came out on the lash. This is way back in the day when we first met in 2009, and I've just got so many personal as well as professional memories attached to this city. I really do think Sheffield is a very, very special place, and I'm not just saying that. I would really, really miss the World Championship if it moved elsewhere. It's just woven into the fabric of the event. By the way, Ryan Day is on a break of 53, edging towards what he hopes will be a 4-2 lead over Scott Donaldson. Zhao Guodong, we know he's lost 5 on the spin against Dave Gilbert, but he's on a break of 51. Looks like he's giving himself a platform to at last get a frame on the board, despite the fact that Gilbert's guaranteed to lead ahead of the second session.
103.
And what a wonderful break this is. 110 when he puts the black, so possible 145 here for Sijawi. Let's just stick with this before we move around. What a great break, what a great comeback as well. 4-0 down, of course. Won a close 5th frame on the colours. And nice to see this red go in, yeah. Oh, that's unlucky. He was up off it, wasn't he? But still a wonderful break. 110 for Sijawi. And he closes the gap to 2. Let's go. Yes. Where are we going to go?
Why don't we head over to table 8 and see if Zhao Guodong can actually get himself a frame on the board against Dave Gilbert. We join him on a break of 52. Ryan Day's break, by the way, has come to an end. He still has a sizable lead. He's 45 up, but plenty still on table 2. But this is an important visit here for Zhao Guodong.
Yeah, and another João Vicente is watching from Portugal. He says 6 countries for now guaranteed in the 2024 World Championship. We could have 3 more: Thailand, Iran and Australia if they all win. Yeah, that's possible. Let us know where you're watching the Judgment Day all around the world. We've had people as far away as New Zealand and Seoul and Korea, Japan, America, Cape Town.
We've had a whole host of messages. One of the biggest talking points, it seems, is not going to be whether Ronnie O'Sullivan can land a record-establishing 8th world title. It's what walk-on music Dominic Dale's going to have.
Yeah. That's the burning question, isn't it? Keep them coming in. We're having a bit of fun with it. Let us know what your song choice for Dominic Dale would be now that he's in love with a French girlfriend and a possible future father-in-law called Jean.
Well, he rebuked. I said to him about the future father-in-law, and he said, "Well, really?" I said, "Well, you got 20,000 to spend. You'd have 30 if you won your first round match." Quick update on the scores. We've got Jamie Jones and Neil Robertson locked together at 3 apiece on table 1. Same scenario: Jackson Page and Nopon Siankam on table 5. Ryan Day leading 3-2 against Scott Donaldson. He had a break of 53, but it's Donaldson at the table now on 2 on a break of 24. Hussein Vafai has weathered the storm. He's now back to 3-2 against the youngster Zhang Jun, and he's at the table just at the beginning of a break of 15. Sijawi has come from 4-0 down to 4-2. We've seen that one. Cao Yupeng's 3-2 up against Pang Jung Siu. And Joe O'Connor leading 3-2 against Matt Selt. Gilbert's 5-0 up. But, of course, it's about to go 5-1. So, great drama and lots to continue enjoying here. I'm going to swap seats. Ken Doherty's off for a quick sandwich, although he's a man who's fueled by life, so I don't think he'll need much to eat to get himself back in the groove. Dave Hendon is suitably refreshed and ready for the second half of the afternoon. So it will be over to him momentarily as we swap seats here at the English Institute.
22.
Okay, so 5-1 it is to Dave Gilbert. Let's continue our coverage here on the second judgment day with a big match for Hussein Vafai here against a dangerous young opponent, but Vafai maybe just starting to exert a bit of experience. Trying to make it 3-3.
It's taken him a little while to settle into this match against Zhang Jun, but he seems to have done so now.
Well, that's the good thing about longer matches, of course. A lot of the matches these guys play during the season are short, and, you know, obviously the best of 7, it would have been looking not good for Hussein, but it's time for things to change and just to get a sort of run of frames together. Jack Jones, actually, yesterday was 4-2 down to Zhou Yulong, but he won the last 8 frames to win 10-4.
I must admit, Dave, I'm a bit of a purist. I love the longer frame formats because generally, I know this might sound a bit straightforward, generally the best players win because they can survive a run of bad luck and 3 lost frames on the bounce, where of course in a best of 7 you can't, the match will be over.
That's right, and also it's the challenge, not in this round, but at the World Championship, at the Crucible, of an overnight position. How do you deal with being 6-3 up, 6-3 down, or whatever it is that also is part of the World Championship challenge? Obviously this match being played all in the same day. Now then, this could have worked out a bit better. He's 50 in front. So taking the red to far corner to try and continue this break. Oh, he knew he got it. He knew he got it. He struck that nicely. He's a very confident character, isn't he? You know, he is a bit of a character, full stop. We know obviously what happened last year, but that's all in the past now. He's bringing something different to the sport. He will be joined next season by Amir Sarkosh. He played in the qualifiers, but he's got on the tour through the Q Tour, which is a sort of qualifying tour. So it'll be another Iranian professional to join Hussein next season.
60.
He's a very popular guy, Hussein. I know all the ITV crew really enjoy working with him. He's had a couple of deep runs in ITV events, and he just, what I like about watching Hussein, the bigger the stage, the more he's up for it. It's not an arrogance, but he loves taking on the big names, and he's not afraid to try and shine when he's under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, and in a funny way, it's the opposite today, isn't it? He's playing a sort of lesser-known player, and he's the one who is the big scalp. So he's having to deal with that different situation, but he's dealing with it pretty well now. These are good signs for Vafai, who should already be over the line in this frame. 64 in front already, the blue, and it's 3 snookers needed. So he's looking like 3-3. And Joe O'Connor, he's hoping for 4-2 over Matt Selt. Of course, he was in control at the interval. Matt Selt was in the early throes of a maximum bid. This frame picking it up at quite a vital stage. He's 30 in front with 35 on, but he's just potted a red. In fact, he just needed to get on a colour, but he can take the pink on. If he pots the pink, then Selt will need a snooker. Red on the cushion, so he's obviously not going to leave that potable. But the pink not in. It was half a snooker as well he's played, so he's thinking a lot about the cue ball there and just keeping Selt under the cosh.
Okay. Ken's still having a lot of fun. He's just posted, if you follow Ken, he's at Ken Doherty 1997 on Twitter. It's gone wrong for Matt Selt. Ken's posted a picture of Elvis in his absolute pomp, imagining Dominic standing at the top of the stairs and really giving it the big one. White suit and all. Let's see.
Well, Selt has to hit it this time, of course, 34 behind. But, of course, the problem, he's gone with pace, just hoping for separation between cue ball and red, but obviously if he leaves the red on, then it's going to be frame over anyway. So he's under it here. Here we go then. Must hit it, must get it safe. I'm not quite sure it's quite back in the right spot. Tatiana Wollaston, the referee, just a slight adjustment. The player will always obviously know, having played the shot initially. So, as I say, only moved marginally. Playing this with a lot of side. Good hit, and well, they'll be happy enough with this, I think. Well, I say that, actually, you can see it. I thought it was going to be a snooker. Now, can he pot this? It's not easy to the middle. What he doesn't want is to leave Selt any sort of chance to make a clearance. So playing the snooker behind the pink, or trying to. He didn't get it though.
Scott Donaldson, by the way, on a break of 28, trying to draw level with Ryan Day. He'll be having an attempt at the green with the rest into the green pocket. Key moments for him because he was being blasted off the table early on by Ryan. And we'll just see this shot from Matt Selt. And then why don't we go and have a quick look and see whether Scott Donaldson can indeed draw level. In fact, looks as though, yes, he's just missed the green with the rest. But key moments in this match. He's done well to pull himself back in touch against Ryan Day. I think Ryan had a 1-3-5 or a 1-3-6 en route to his 2-0 lead. Scott replied with a 1-1 with 110. This could be a big moment for Donaldson to try and draw level.
Yeah, Ryan Day, it's a bit like Stuart Bingham. He's on his day a very heavy scorer, so Donaldson has to stay with him. He has to make it difficult, although this is difficult for him because he snookered on the green.
Robertson's on a break of 40, by the way, on table 1. 3 apiece, him and Jamie Jones. But let's stay with this just for a moment and see whether Scott Donaldson can draw himself level.
Well, he's played it nicely. Yeah, these close frames, obviously, they make a difference psychologically because there are always frames where both players would have had a chance to win them. You know, the big breaks are all very well, and obviously they're also confidence builders in a different way, but it's when you've had chances to win a frame, you don't put them away, you then have to deal with that mentally going into the next frame. Of course, that's more of a challenge in these long matches.
Gilbert's on a break of 38, having seen Zhao Guodong finally get one on the board, turning 5-0 to 5-1. Gilbert's playing really well, guaranteed a lead, but by how much? We'll keep you posted on that one, but let's stay with this on table 2 for now.
Okay, well, it's a bit of a standoff here. So Neil Robertson and Jamie Jones, a very interesting match because Robertson with the century, Jones hit back with one, and this is Neil Robertson trying to hit back again and go 4-3 up. Good match this, very high quality.
61.
Yeah, Robertson made 103. That was his 100th World Championship century. But in the next frame, Jamie Jones a 1-3-5. Robertson dominated the 6th and looks set to win the 7th.
62.
Jamie Jones is a really good test for Neil Robertson because I know he's never beaten him and he's lost 7 times to the Aussie, but Jamie likes taking on the big names, and this, if Neil Robertson comes through this
67.
test, he'll be fully in the groove, and he is a nightmare draw tomorrow morning at 8:45 if he wins this match.
Well, that's what I'm looking forward to, Rob, if he's in the draw, because of course you're going to be there sort of comparing it and just the reaction, whoever he's drawn against, but certainly if it's one of the real big hitters, an O'Sullivan, a Trump, a Selby, Brissell maybe, then that is a big moment, isn't it, for those?
Well, and if you add into the mix those who came through yesterday, you know, Stuart Bingham, I know he's had a torrid time on the table over the last few months, but won 2 fine matches to get himself in the draw once again. Stephen Maguire has been to the Crucible, well, it will be his 20th occasion, twice a semi-finalist, multiple quarter-finalist. There's some really, really big names. Jack Lazowski, magnificent against Matthew Stevens yesterday. There are some very, very high-quality players, and I know you could always argue that, but it feels as though whoever the 16 are who've come through the 2 judgment days, it's an exceptional year of qualifiers. And I wonder whether we could get close to a record, Dave, of 8 top seeds falling in the first round proper. Maybe.
Maybe indeed. Robertson has just left himself awkward here. He'd love another century. Well, he's determined to make it. So, by the way, Ryan Day won that frame against Scott Donaldson. They were battling on the green. Ryan Day won. It's a 4-2. We're going to leave Robertson here because we want to show you Matt Selt, who has a chance to steal this frame against Joe O'Connor. Remember, he was in that snooker. He had to hit it second time, and he did. It was 3-0 to O'Connor, and Selt didn't make much impact on the first 3 frames, but he's got a chance here to level up. The pink, obviously, the key ball here. But actually, the blue's not in a bad spot, really, to bring it off the cushion. Robertson's made the ton. Well, in fact, he's gone to move it there. He felt he could still get on the green, and he's sort of given himself a kick as a result, not landing on it. Saw the chance, and, well, Sick is saying he got the. I mean, the pink's come off nicely, but he's just not on the green. (4-3) Jackson Page over Nopp and Senkam. It's going to be another big night. Obviously, these matches concluding this evening. We'll have the interviews with the winners, and then, of course, we'll have our 32 for the Crucible. Oh, this needs to go past the middle. Just.
Nothing if not demonstrative, Matt Selt. Sense a bit of a shift in momentum on table 3. We'll stay with this one just for a while, but Hossein Vafai having drawn level against the Chinese youngster, Yang Jun. He's at the table. Trails in the frame, but good-looking opportunity for the Prince of Persia. Great recovery from Jackson Page. 3-1 down against Noppon now, leading 4-3. They've got a little bit bogged down on table 8. Gilbert leading 5-1. He was on a break, but it's got a little bit scrappy in that one. Neil Robertson in front from 2-0 down. Remember, Jamie Jones missed an opportunity to punish a Robertson mistake in the third. 3-0, and it could have been a completely different complexion on that match.
Yeah, those early frames, as you say, can be very significant. Now, Matt Selt with a chance at the green. 24 behind, 25 on. Ooh, he doesn't want the knuckle. Yeah, he's left the green on, so Joe O'Connor needs this for a 4-2 lead.
Matt Selt very much assuming this frame is over. He's put his cue down and sat down.
Yeah, so it's going to be 4-2 to O'Connor. 3 frames remain in that session. But, of course, Joe O'Connor's one potential debutant. The other is Yang Jun, and he's been pegged back here 3-3 with Hossein Vafai. Of course, the other good thing about the format, because I play 9 frames, someone's going to be in front. So it's just getting that advantage, isn't it? And I always think at this stage, if you can get to 5-3, the last frame's massive, with a chance for 6-3. If it's 4-4, it doesn't seem as big. But that's the sort of beauty of the format, really. They knew what they were doing all those years ago when they dreamt the World Championship format up. It's barely changed in 40 years, really.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Absolutely right. Now then, he's just left this a bit awkward, this pink. Little cut back, playing a cannon. But needs to pop the pink as well, of course.
Oh, beautifully done there, Dave. Beautiful.
Yeah, so he decided to take the white round the table, but great shot.
Question for you from James. What's the latest stage of the World Championship that two qualifiers have ever met? So Terry won as a qualifier in 79, Murphy in 05. Would it have been a late meeting for one of those two, perhaps?
Well, the year Ding qualified and got to the final, he played Angles, didn't he, Alan McManus, in the semis. And Alan wouldn't have been a top 16 player then.
40.
So, yeah, they played in the semi-finals, those two, 8 years ago.
I mean, that's. I suppose it was a bit of an anomaly that Ding had to come through the qualifiers, and I know that'll be in the back of Neil Robertson's mind, that Ding inexplicably fell out of the 16 and arrived at the Crucible raring to go. Kelly Barker had the answer to that one.
41.
What was Kelly's answer?
Yeah, she said she thought it was possibly Ding and McManus. I'm just scrolling up and catching up on that.
Well, Kelly, of course, proofreads the Crucible Almanac for Chris Downer, so she's across all the stats.
47.
Well, Hossein Vafai just starting to take a bit of control in this match. He's starting to look more comfortable. And as I say, now it's about just getting that lead coming back tonight. Chance for 6-3 for him, and suddenly he's feeling comfortable again. If he can ever feel comfortable in these qualifiers.
Martin Lawson's put another one in the mix here. What about when Fred Davis and Perry Manns met in the semis in 78?
Yeah, but that's further away than 2016.
Good knowledge, though. Liking the knowledge. Liking the knowledge.
Oh, there's a lot of very knowledgeable snooker fans out there, for sure. Anyway, it's looking like 4-3. Just needs this red.
61.
So Hossein just steadying the ship against a difficult opponent to play. New kid on the bays, but Hossein Vafai 4-3, it would seem. Now then, there's an all-Chinese affair on table 4. Sijia Wei and Wu Yize, and Sijia Wei just missing that red with the rest, actually, as we come over. 4-2 down, 8 points down. That was his chance to close to 4-3. After all the heroics and emotion of last year, obviously be disappointed, wouldn't he, to miss out this year at the Crucible.
He gained a little bit of a cult following amongst British sports fans, as did Ty, one of our key photographers and overseas broadcasters. He was drawn in to do so many of the live interview translations, and they cut two rather different physical characters. Ty's probably about 5'3", and Sijia Wei, I think, is about my height. He's about 6'3".
Yeah, Tai Shengzi, one of the legends of the Chinese snooker media, is here actually this week, taking photographs and doing his other work. Now, Wu Yize has a chance at the red. Well, this last red, obviously the black's in the way for left corner, so it's only going to pop to right corner. He doesn't necessarily have to play to get on it, just try and leave himself in a position to play good safety. Well, he's doing his best to try and get on it, and he's missed the blue. These are key moments in this match. Obviously, if he were to make it 5-2, then he's got a chance for a big lead coming back this evening. There's not much being turned down in this match. Two young players like going for their shots, and he's got away with that. There's always a degree of safety to that. The white was going back down to bulk.
bit of a slow frame on table 8, but Dave Gilbert's managed to find his way back in. Good opportunity for him to turn 5-1 into 6-1. Let's check in on the 2018 semi-finalist. Wears his heart on his sleeve, a little bit like Matt Selt, but this is a good chance for Dave. A really good chance. And as Dave was just saying, if you get to 5 pretty quickly, you've got an opportunity to get most of the hard work done ahead of that second session. And that's certainly the position that Dave Gilbert's putting himself in at the moment.
Yes, and it's a real challenge for your opponent just to stay in touch. It's a long way back. So it's about damage limitation for Xiao Guodong if Gilbert, as seems likely, now wins this frame. Just 2 more pots. He's looking confident. I saw him right before play began. He just sat quietly, not getting involved in any chat, just getting himself into the right zone to come out and play, and it certainly worked. Because he's looking good here, and I mean, we seem to say it about all of them, but another tough qualifier if he gets through. Dave Gilbert, as you say, semi-finalist. Everyone knows what a terrific player he is. He's been as high as 10 in the world. It's worth remembering. Not the best sort of couple of years, but he's got the pedigree certainly to do some damage.
A couple of years ago, you know, Dave, when he was, you know, off the back of that World semi, I think he's had a couple of Masters semis. He's such an accessible person. He's got that touch of the everyman about him. You know, he's very self-deprecating, very humble, but extremely talented. If he won a big one, he would become a massive star, I think. He really would, because of his personality.
37.
Yeah, well, this absolutely, I totally agree. This frame's one. Yeah, he's down to earth, and that's true of so many players, isn't it? You know, they're relatable people. Anyway, that's going to be 6-1 to Dave, but this back to this table where Wu Yize just needed the brown to take the frame. He hasn't potted it, so this is now real drama on this table. Si Jiahui, be delighted to see him miss it now then. Is he going to take this on to right middle, hold for the blue? The black, of course, on the cushion makes it more difficult there, but the frame could have been over, so big shot here for Si Jiahui, who came within 2 frames of the final a year ago. Oh, well done. He wasn't sure, was he? He stayed down. He wasn't sure if that was going to hold its line. So now it's about leaving the angle on the pink for the black on the cushion. Sort of staring accusingly at the cue ball. Why haven't you run on a bit? Well, let's see. We saw him magic so much up last year, not only at the Crucible, actually to qualify it was quite eventful, but here we go. This frame, it could easily have been 5-2. Si Jiahui hanging in there. Giving himself every chance on the black. Big shot in this match. He's not played his best stuff yet, but if he can just pop this, things could turn around for him. And it wriggles in. It wriggles in. Here we go, another black ball finish on table 6 for you. Pang Junzhu looking to make it 3-3 with Chao Yupeng. Oh, it's one of these sort of ticklish ones, isn't it? Slight cutback. Nicely done. Well, drama wherever you look, Rob.
Absolutely brilliant. And do you know what? I think that could really hurt Wu Yize. That Miss Brown could, and the brilliant way in which he finished the frame off. Si Jiahui reducing arrears, now trailing by just 1. Jamie Jones got to the table first in this 8th frame. He had a break of 20 and then that came to an end. We'll stay with this for a little bit, but we'll keep half an eye on Noppon Siankam, who's trailing 4-3 against Jackson Page, having led 3-1, and he's on a break of 31 over on table 5. But we'll just stay with this just for a moment. But massive moment for the former semi-finalists, Si Jiahui against Wu Yize, staring at a guaranteed deficit, and all of a sudden, he's back to within 1.
4.
Question.
Ebbs and flows of momentum, and that's what makes Judgment Day so exciting.
Yeah, question from Stuart. He says, why has no one from the United States played at the Crucible? Is snooker not popular there? Well, it's not as popular as a lot of other sports in America. There are pockets, all puns intended, of places in the States where people play. Alan Morris runs the US Association, and of course they have had Ahmed Al-Sayed on tour actually this season, and a few players in the past, but I think everyone would love snooker to be big in America for sure. One day maybe an American will play there. Pool, of course, 9-ball pool in particular, is a popular cue sport in the States.
Matt Selt on a break of 17 on table 7. Trailing Joe O'Connor 4-2. Siankam's break is still
20.
Going. He's now up to 45 on table 5. Trying to draw level again with Jackson Page. We're edging towards the end of some of these first session matches. Let's stay with this. These are key moments for Jamie Jones, who was within a whisker of moving 3 frames in front and is now trying to halt the sizable momentum of his opponent, Neil Robertson.
Well, he's just overrun this. He's just seeing, can he still pot it? He sort of walked round thinking he couldn't, and I still think he still thinks he can't, unless he can just bend it a little bit. Well, he's going to make some sort of attempt, I think. Well, he's still... I mean, if you don't think it goes, it probably doesn't. Never in doubt.
28.
There we are. He steeled himself to play it, didn't he?
I know what you mean, though, Dave. Sometimes you get the feeling with players that they almost they're so desperate for the pot to be on, they almost convince themselves it is on when it isn't.
Thankfully for Jamie Jones, he could just pot it, so he's still in business here. 50 in front as he attempts to level the match. And then really whoever wins the last frame, it doesn't feel as significant, but obviously you want to be in front either way.
36.
What we're seeing, though, is that Neil Robertson is certainly not having things his own way here. Jones just, again, didn't quite bring the white back far enough, so suddenly he needs the rest on this black. 51 in front, so he still needs a red. He's seeing if that's a plant. That would help. But first he needs to pot the black. I say a plant, I mean the reds are a long way apart. Is the black in? It is. So is he going to play this plant? As you can see, that it's going to have to be made. There's a good distance between them, and
43.
Robertson can still win this frame. Good pot on the black. He would have blocked the pocket had he missed that. Here we go. Well, he's going to play it. Big shot.
This is bold. This is very bold from the former quarter-finalist 12 years ago.
Robertson looking over his shoulder and seeing the red go in. Every credit. Jamie Jones didn't back away. So 59 in front, 51 on. And it's looking like 4-4. So we'll leave this table and we'll be back to watch some of the last frame. But Matt Selt, we saw disappointment as he failed to level up at 3-3, but he's got a chance here to win frame 7, 39 in front. Matt Selt has played 4 times at the Crucible, not won a match there yet. Lost out to Mark Selby last year in round 1. Although he made quite a good comeback actually in that one, as I recall. beat Aaron Hill 10-4 in the previous round.
I remember speaking to him after he qualified last year, Dave, and he said he feels that at that point, obviously, he was becoming a 4-time Crucible appearance holder. He feels he should have been at the Crucible many more times than that. But it's easier said than done.
60.
Could have beaten Barry Hawkins back in 2015. Barry ended up winning that one 10-9 and then beat him more comprehensively 10-3 in the first round 6 years later. But not easy to rack up these appearances, especially coming through Judgment Day.
I mean, we've seen, not just these 2 days, but across the qualifying, how hard it is just to get out of this. Never mind start winning matches at the Crucible. Coming into today, there have been 105 centuries in the qualifiers this year, including the 147. I mean, that's an amazing standard. And Matt Selt may be adding to that list here. He's got these reds open, so another match that's going to be pretty close, I think, coming back tonight. Ryan Day's just potted the black to lead Scott Donaldson 5-2, a black ball frame, but 5-2 to Ryan Day.
Maybe when this break comes to an end, maybe we should have a look at table 3. Hossein Vafai has been under some pressure from Zhang Jun, but he's on a break of 34, currently leading 4 frames to 3, so edging his way towards a guaranteed lead in the second session after coming under real pressure from the would-be debutant.
Yeah, he's responding though, isn't he? You know, he's been impressive actually, not panicking, you know, when he went a couple down early on, knowing that this is a marathon, not a sprint at the World Championship. And look, it'd be great for Zhang Jun and great for the tournament if he got through, but Hossein Vafai definitely enhances events. He's a bit of a character, he doesn't mind ruffling a few feathers here and there as well. All adds to the publicity. Plus, of course, he's representing proudly Iran.
He was so emotional when he secured his Crucible debut a couple of years ago, wasn't he? Black ball in the decider, it was absolutely incredible.
Yeah, he got briefly into the top 16, but he's 19 now, which is why he's having to qualify as he plays a lovely cannon. Give himself every chance of going 2 in front, and then, of course, there's a lot on the last frame of the afternoon.
I'm just keeping half an eye on Jackson Page against Noppon Siankam. There's a chance for Jackson Page to nick the 8th frame and move 5-3 in front. Just the colours left on the table.
Yeah, let's drop in on that, Rob, because as you say, it's a chance here for Jackson to go 5-3, and then we'll be back with the fight, see if he can do the same. So just needs the green, oh sorry, he's 20 behind, he needs them all, as the green just struggled in a little bit, but the last 4 basically on their spots. Because he came good in the World Open recently in China, in Yushan, got to the semis. It was a rather bizarre start to the semi-final, he cut his finger. Getting his cue out of his case and needed a plaster. It was on his mind. He was also playing Judd Trump, which didn't help, and lost heavily. But it was a terrific tournament for him. Of course, played the Crucible 2 years ago, beat Hawkins, pink and black, for a 5-3 lead. Doesn't mess around, does he? Just gets on with it, Jackson.
Were you surprised at how good he was in China?
I suppose it had been coming for a while, hadn't it? You know, we've been waiting for it to happen. I think everyone recognises how talented he was, but he beat Selby and Higgins, you know, big wins as he knocks the black in to lead 5-3. So let's go back to table 3, where we just left it a moment ago, and we're just back in time to see if Vafai can take the frame. He needs 2 more pots. Been a very interesting session, and of course in many ways the real drama to come this evening as these matches are resolved. It'll be 5 o'clock local time.
Yes, we'll have interviews with all the winners, and don't worry, we've got a plan. If we have multiple matches finishing very, very close together, you will see the interviewee for the first couple of seconds, and then if there is something else seismic happening on a table that's about to come to a conclusion, we will carry on the interview but switch the pictures to the table in question as they all edge towards a finish. We had quite a few matches finishing close together last night, as is inevitably the case. And I know we spoke about it last night, Dave. I think it's a good tactic to go for a 5 p.m. start. Of course, it gives everyone, audience, us and players included, a shorter break between the afternoon and the evening session, but it means there's a better chance that it all finishes at a sensible time.
Indeed, that was, well, it doesn't matter actually. He's taken 8 points off the table and gone in off, so it's going to be 5-3. So let's go to Si Jiahui and Wu Yize. In the 8th frame here, Si Jiahui fighting back in this one. Leading by 34 here. Yeah, we saw that big moment, Wu Yize missing the brown in the last frame, and Si Jiahui making a good clearance. It wasn't straightforward, and now maybe just starting to feel like his old self again. He knows there's quite a bit of expectation on him after last year. People sort of just expected after that he was going to soar. He was in a final this season, of course, the German Masters, lost to Trump, as a lot of people have done this season. But other than that, it's been relatively quiet, so he'd love to get back to the Crucible. He was 4-0 down here. He made a 110 break in frame 6. Won that last frame on the black, as we saw, and has every chance now to level up. And so from 4-0 down, he could even be in front coming back this evening.
That brown felt very, very big indeed. It was right there, waiting for him, Wu Yize. By the way, Zhao Gudong's on a break of 36. He's waited a long time to get a frame on the board. He's 6-1 down to Dave Gilbert. We might have a little look at that one after we see Si Jiahui getting himself definitively across the line here for 4 apiece. He'll be feeling much better about this match. From 4-0 down, 4 in reply on the spin, showing his class, last year's semi-finalist.
Yeah, I mean, he did play so well there last year. And, OK, turned round, it wasn't to be, but he's young enough to bounce back from it. So this red, well, he's already 56 in front, so that should be sufficient for 4-4.
Ryan Day leading 5-2 on table 2. He's at the table on a break of 19. Pang Jung-Soo on a break of 28 on table 6, 3 apiece. Cao Yupeng started the match 3-0. He's come back to 3 apiece.
He's done enough. 59 break. He was disappointed to miss that, but he's done enough. So from 4-0 down, Si Jiahui has come back strongly to level at 4-4.
Zhao Gudong on a half century on table 8. Let's head over to table 8, shall we? Dave Gilbert still in a commanding position, but Zhao Gudong giving himself a platform to just rescue this session a little towards the end.
Exactly, it's damage limitation, and 6-3, you've got to leave thinking, well, it could have been a lot worse. That's the attitude to have. And equally, Dave Gilbert might be thinking it could have been a lot better for him. I think, obviously, well, 9-0, 8-1, 7-2. You know, it's very hard to come back from those positions, but we've seen a lot of comebacks from 6-3. 6-1 here, Mark Allen trailed Ding Junhui, didn't he, in the UK final last season and won 10-7. So, you know, it's happened so many times before. Just got to have that belief, not give in this very mentally demanding sport of snooker.
Well, and what about Willow at the Tour Champs? 7 on the spin against Ronnie O'Sullivan, who hadn't lost a final this season. It's amazing what can happen in these matches.
Just needs this blue to lead by 71. He's 67 on. And then big last frame for Zhao, just trying to, as I say, stay in some sort of touch. Not much down yet, by the way, in the last frame between Robertson and Jones. It's just 6-3 to Robertson in that frame, 4 each, of course, in the match itself.
Noppon Sankam's got the first chance in the last frame of this session against Jackson Page, and it's an important one for the Thailand player, trailing 5-3.
Once the extra red in, because that should stop any flying on for snookers. If not, then obviously Gilbert will come back to the table. So this red to seal the frame once and for all and make it 6-2. And it's not there, so as I say, Gilbert will surely play on from here. Yeah, and he's given himself a chance just to clear a few reds away. If you can take it down to the last red, then, you know, there is a chance to win the frame. So Gilbert looking to get back into the frame. This is a very interesting match now. Sijia Wei and Wu Yize, who's well, a little unlucky to going off there, but things have turned there, haven't they? It was 4-0 to Wu Yize, it's 4-4. Sijia Wei, of course, lit up the Crucible last year, played some dazzling snooker to get all the way to the semi-finals, where, of course, he played Luca Brissell. Just remind ourselves.
I would think a defensive shot is coming next. It's a risky business trying to predict what these two players are going to do. Is he sighting the blue or the green?
Well, that is absolutely outrageous. Outrageous. To even go for this, let alone get it. Goodness me.
6.
Well, we sort of saw Sijia Wei long potting in stereo there, didn't we? As, one from last year, one from this year. He's got himself in from the in-off from Wu Yize. So anyway, we'll come back to this shortly and see how he gets on. But Ryan Day is making his move, isn't he? He won that last frame on the black against Scott Donaldson, 57 to the good here in this next frame. So just pulling away.
Last frame of the session would become massive for Scott Donaldson to try and hold on to Ryan Day's coattails. Noppon Sankam, by the way, is on a break of 44, now 45, trying to take the last of the session against Jackson Page on 5. We'll stay with this one just for a moment to see
63.
Whether Ryan does indeed go 6-2, and then after that, perhaps it'll be useful to head over to table 5.
Well, he's going to just close the shop here, push it safe. Snooker's required, so it should be 6-2.
So why don't we have a look at table 5 then? Noppon Sankam on a half century. Big frame this for him, Dave.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, it's always big 5-3 last frame for both players. One can pull away, the other can peg them back, and then not quite starting level terms, but it's very much anyone's coming back this evening. In this race to 10, Noppon Sankam, of course, is already made the maximum, so it's been a memorable qualifying competition for him. 4 Crucible appearances to his name. Of course, he reached his first ranking final this season at the Scottish Open, where he lost to Gary Wilson. His victory over John Higgins actually was quite a beautiful moment. He was in tears at the end. He loves John, looks up to John Higgins, was sort of hugging him, and the crowd really took to him. But Gary Wilson, quite rightly, wasn't going to get involved in that sentiment in the final. He was there to do a job, and he did that very nicely. Of course, he's seeded this year, Gary Wilson.
Gary's victory was extraordinary at the Scottish Open, wasn't it? Because by his own admission, he said he didn't really have much form going into his title defence, and he had a couple of wobbly wins early on and then got better and better as the week progressed.
Yeah, it was quite incredible to defend the title. Now then, this is frame ball. Nicely done. So we'll leave this one. It's going to be 5-4 coming back. But Joe O'Connor, he's on reds and blacks on table 7. Matt Selt actually himself had a sort of go at a maximum earlier. Joe O'Connor's made one this season in the Championship League. I think I'm going mad. There's not enough points on. There's not enough points on. There's a 139 on. You see, it's all this excitement, Rob. It's gone to my head. I need to lie down.
You do. It's been a long couple of days. The most prolific snooker commentator in the business, pride of ITV, pride of Eurosport. Noppon Sankam, we've just seen getting himself back to within 1. And Joe O'Connor close to guaranteeing himself a lead ahead of the second session. And remember, there's never been a year, Dave surprised me with this stat, always bang on when it comes to his statistics. I can't believe there's never been a year at the Crucible without a debutant. So Joe O'Connor needs to try and do the business if indeed Hossein Vafaei denies the other potential debutant, Zhang Yun. And Vafaei leads him 5-3 at the moment.
Yeah, apologies for that. I was just trying to make sure everyone was paying attention there. But anyway, Joe is a couple of balls from making it 5-3, setting up another big last frame of the session.
64.
He's such a impressive player, I think. He's got such calm about the way he goes about things. He doesn't rush into shots. He just focuses on each shot in turn. A bit like Zhang Anda, actually. Zhang Anda, of course, he got himself into the top 16, won a tournament. Maybe similar sorts of players. Once they get into that zone, it's hard to knock them out of it. Now, he needs this pink, and snooker's required.
Just keep half an eye on table 6. Just blue, pink and black remaining on the table. Cao Yupeng and Pang Junxiu at 3 apiece. Theirs is probably the slowest of the matches so far.
Well, that was frame ball that he's missed, so this is not done yet. Yeah, it's another black ball finish. We saw Pang pop the black in the previous frame, didn't we? And he's 7 in front, so this could still be a respot. Needs the black for the frame, but if not, Chai Peng can force a respot. Peggy Lee trying to get people to stay still. Stay still. Is it there? Is it there? It's there. So, Pang Junxiu, with a dramatic last ball, goes 4-3 in front against Cao Yupeng.
Well, Ken Doherty is suitably refreshed after, I suspect, a coffee and a baguette as we edge towards the end of this first session. The 1997 Champion du Monde will retake his hot seat. And don't worry, when we come back for the second session, you will get all of Ken's analysis and insight, and we'll have interviews with every single one of the 8 men soon to join the 24 others in tomorrow's draw, 8:45, 5 Live.
Thank you, Rob. Enjoy your sausage roll or whatever you're having for lunch, and Ken returns to his rightful place at the coalface. Yeah, so Joe O'Connor here missed the pink for this frame, and Matt Selt can still win it. He needs to find a way in first.
Yeah, tall order, isn't it?
Tall order, 64 behind, 67 remaining. Oh, he's playing the double kiss. Lovely shot. Nicely executed. Not a shot that you would see very often, but very well played there, Matt Selt. So what have I missed, Dave?
You've missed loads. You've missed black ball finishes, big breaks, drama, excitement. The usual stuff, really. And a few more walk-on tunes for Dominic.
Yeah, and what a comeback from, well, two great comebacks. Sijia Wee, who was 4-0 down, looks to be going like 5-4 up. And what about Hussein Bafai, who was 3-0 down? Could have gone 4-0 and is now 5-3 up.
Yeah, let's see if we can get Sijia Wee, as you say, coming back, and looks like it's about to go 5-4 up against Wu Yize. Here we go. Already one snooker needed, but that red makes sure. So there was a big moment there a couple of frames ago where Wu Yize had a brown that he didn't pot, and see here made a tricky little clearance. It wasn't straightforward, but he cleared up, and he's just checking the scores, but already snooker's needed.
Yeah, and what a comeback. I mean, totally frozen out those first 4 frames. Wu Yize, very dominant, but what a comeback. It just shows you the character and temperament of this young man. Oh, wonderful prospects and great addition to the tour.
Okay, well, the snooker's needed there, so that's going to be 5-4 to Sijia Wee. Let's see if Zhang Jun can win this last frame against Hossein Vafai. These long matches, they ebb and flow, or they can do, and you have to sort of cope with both. Okay, he was on top early on, then he went behind, but if he wins this frame, it's all to play for again.
Yeah, got a tweet from Mike, who's watching in Eagle Lake near Houston in Texas.
Fantastic.
Snooker. Yeah, this is going to say hello to good friend Andy Playford, who's in Crawley. So there you go. Hope you're enjoying the Judgment Day as we close out this first session. Wonderful performance from this young man as well. Zhang Jun, just 18 years of age, is he?
Yeah. All new to him, first season on tour.
And of course, even whatever happens this match, I mean, he's sort of guaranteed, what is it, 15,000, Dave? So that will help boost him up the rankings as well. So great first year for him.
And that red should secure the frame, 55 to the good. So this is going to be a belting last session, isn't it? See if he can get to the Crucible, or whether Hossein Vafai will take his place in the draw.
It's a bit like yesterday, isn't it? I mean, there's so many close matches. Okay, there's going to be 5-4 either way, Jones and Robertson. 5-4 Jackson Page against Nopon. It's going to be 5-4 to Sijia Wee, of course, against Wu Yize. And this one will be 5-4 to Hussein. So very close matches. Going to be a great finale tonight.
Well, that plant makes absolutely sure. So we'll leave this with the knowledge that Vafai will be 5-4 up. But what about Neil Robertson and Jamie Jones? This has been a long last frame, actually. And you can see not much down, actually. Just 23 points scored.
Oh, you miss.
4 each in the match itself.
Jamie Jones 4.
Neil Robertson in a spot of bother here.
Yeah, got 2 messages. Well, referee Yamba has sorted this out. Got a message from Brendan Larkin, who's watching in Sydney, Australia.
I don't think you could. I think you could hit the knuckle, the right knuckle, but not past it.
Enjoying the coverage, Brendan. And,
just to say, Sijia Wee made 112 there in the last frame, so very strong finish. In fact, 2 centuries coming back from 4-0 down to lead Wu Yize at 5-4.
Brilliant stuff.
Yeah, Jamie, thank you.
And Harry Voudomatis from Greece is watching. Hope you're enjoying it, Harry. Oh, this is short again. He's getting the swerve, but not the pace.
Jamie Jones 4.
Let's have a look at that now.
Well, let's just jump back to table 3 because this is a nice moment for Zhang Zhun. He needs the brown for a century to finish the afternoon. Oh, well played.
Yeah, great performance. And a big frame as well, because he was leading 3-0, wasn't he? So to lose 5 in a row, come back with this, well, it's fantastic. Give him a good boost for this evening's session.
Yeah, he's just letting off a bit of steam here and showing Vafai that he's not let his head drop as he ends the session on a high. Terrific break from Zhang Zhun. They're saying Vafai 5-4 up, but all to play for when they come back later on. But let's go back to Neil Robertson and Jamie Jones. Robertson still trying to hit this red.
Jamie Jones.
It's a bit of a head scratcher.
Yeah, Jamie.
Doesn't want to obviously leave him in here. It's a delicate little shot he's playing to rest up to it.
Pace looks better here. Very good. Ryan Brennan has tweeted in. He said, talking about walk-ons for Dominic Dale. How about Tom Jones, sex bomb?
Really?
Sex bomb, you sex bomb. I don't think the rest of us will love it, but certainly Dominic Dale would certainly love that one. Well done, Ryan.
There's been so many tunes suggested. He'll have to start his walk-on from this Institute of Sport about 3 miles away.
The anticipation for Dominic Dale to walk down those stairs into the Crucible and wonder what his choice of music will be. Down Dominic, as eccentric as he is, I'm sure it will be pretty left field, I would imagine. What do you think?
Oh, guaranteed.
8.
So Jamie Jones with a chance to end the afternoon on top here. We were all wondering exactly what sort of match this would be, but of course Jamie's so experienced. It was 7-0 on the head-to-head to Neil Robertson, so obviously that was in his favour, including a 10-2 win at the Crucible in 2015. But this round, this final qualifying round, Judgment Day, whatever you want to call it, just brings the pressure onto everybody.
$14. $15.
Just want to mention John McBride, who's messaged in. John's a player himself in Ireland, and he said, "I'm grateful to be sitting here watching the qualifiers. I was told last December I had weeks to live, but here I am 4 months later, still fighting." Well, John, you're part of the snooker community, and great to hear from you.
Yeah, I didn't know that, John. I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm glad that you joined the snooker and still kicking. Best of luck.
22.
Lovely man, John McBride. Loves his snooker.
$23.
Now, he needs one more red after this blue. He'll be 55 in front with the blue. So, get on the red on the left-hand side as he just drops his chalk. 2 pots for a 5-4 lead.
Always got into it too much, but I was gonna say he may have the red to the right centre, but I might give it a miss. Might not take it on. Got a 5-point lead, 59 remaining. Gonna just keep it tight. Could take the red on. No one could only leave the red, but far from easy, very risky. It's got to get the red away from the corner pocket, whatever he does. The red that he's closest to. Want to go in off, that would be a disaster.
Foul. Jamie Jones, 28. Neil Robertson.
Okay, he hasn't left anything, but it was valuable 4 points there. So it gives Neil Robertson a little bit more leeway, should he get a chance. Nobody leaving this table. We're all eagerly wait to see what's going to happen. Big favourite, Neil Robertson, amongst the crowd.
Obviously where the balls are, Jones is a favourite here, but he'd be a bit of a sickener if he lost this frame. Obviously he'd have a few hours to think about that. Either way, it's a big night to come for these two this evening, for everyone here at the English Institute of Sport.
Where can we go next, Dave? Because this is going to maybe take a little bit of time. What about Joe O'Connor, Matt Sell? That's table 7. Let's have a look at table 7, see what's happening over there.
Yeah, Joe O'Connor looking to make it 6-3 here. Not too much more to do.
Yeah, nice little cannon there, wasn't it, on the red?
52.
Been a hard-fought match, this, isn't it? Both very steady players, very take their time. I think any player coming in, like any sort of a lead going into the second session of 5-4, but a 6-3, well, it's a, you know, it really. That's a bonus, you know.
I also think if you can end the session well,
yeah,
you know, with a big break, it just sends you out the venue feeling good, doesn't it?
Yeah, of course it does, yeah. Or if you either, you know, you win it with a big break, or sometimes what's even better is that you win it from a sort of a long way back, or we win a close frame where you've cleared up on the colours, or you're 50 behind, you cleared up with 60, something like that. That's sometimes can be even more hurtful to your opponent. Funny when you get like a player knocks in a century off your break or something like that, it doesn't feel as bad as when you've had a chance to win the frame and you didn't take it and your opponent steps in. That's more crushing for a snooker player.
I can say Neil Robertson needs 2 snookers now in that 9th frame. He's 57 behind, 51 on, so it's looking like 5-4 Jones. This is just a bit awkward. He's not the tallest, I think it's fair to say, but he's just trying to keep still on the shot here.
A bit like me, Dave. I used to have a part-time job standing wet cakes when I was younger.
Yeah, it is 5-4 Jamie Jones over Neil Robertson.
Just making sure of that black. A little bit short on the red, but should be. Shouldn't be a problem. Just gotta be careful here. Don't take your eye off the red. Yeah, nice shot. So that should be the frame. Where should we go? What about table 2, though?
Yeah, it'd be good to see Ryan Day, who looks like he's about to go 7-2 up against Scott Donaldson.
That is a big lead, isn't it? Wow.
Here we go. Yeah, looks like he's about there, actually. This black would make sure. Yeah, that's pretty commanding another very experienced campaigner, Ryan Day. Looks like he'll be joining the likes of Ricky Walden and Dominic and
28.
some of the other qualifiers from yesterday who made it through. Maguire, Bingham, these players who've played a lot of Crucibles.
Yeah.
Don't think that's going to matter. He may play on here, but he doesn't want the red in. That's the thing. You want the free ball at this stage, so it's surely going to be Ryan Day's frame.
Yeah, way too much the difference. 48.
Yeah, so let's just see if Joe O'Connor can make this century just to end the session on a real high. Not just 6-3, but how he's won the frame. He led 3-0, so he's got his 3-frame lead restored from earlier on.
96.
As you say, a lot of these matches could ebb and flow. I think that's the beauty of the best of 19s. Of course, at one stage a few years ago,
97.
you know, these qualifiers were only best of 11, so it was great, you know, through players board and the players themselves that we got it back to the best of 19. I think it's just makes it so much better. All the players will play 19 as we see the century going in. Good performance from Joe O'Connor.
So yeah, century to finish, 6-3 to Joe O'Connor, and Dave Gilbert would love 7-2, but Zhao Guodong, who was 6-1 down, is in here with a chance to maybe pull this one back.
16.
And just going back to the, you know, back to the qualifiers a few years ago where it was only best of 11s, Dave, and it didn't just seem the same as it, you know, the best of 19s is so much more of a better match, and I even think Judgment Day takes on an even better significance because of the best of 19s.
Well, part of the, yeah, exactly, part of the interest, I think, in these matches is actually the gap between sessions. You know, how you're feeling. What mood are you in as you leave? What mood are you in as you arrive again? That's all part of the test of long matches.
It's all part of the story, isn't it? And the test. You're dead right. And how it can affect. Even having a 6-3 lead, that can soon evaporate when you come back for the second session. Only 2 matches now remaining. Dave Gilbert, Guodong, and of course Cao Yupeng and Pang Xingzhu still only in their 8th frame there.
You'll like this tweet, Ken, from David. He says, I'm one of the few that has a full-size table in my house in New York. I'd love a live stream challenge with Ken.
Oh, there you go.
Would he pay airfares as well?
Yeah. You book the flights, I'll be on the way. Start spreading the news. Oh, tried to just knock the black towards the corner pocket, but caught the red too full, and of course he snookered himself on the black now. Can't possibly take this pink on. Very, very risky. What a chance it was there to, well, if not win the frame, but certainly put himself in a really strong position now. He'll just have to contend with a safety shot.
Yeah. Well, it's a big chance, but not to be. So this is such an important frame now. It's, the only other match still on is 4-3 Pang Zhengzhou against Chow Yupeng. But we'll stick with this for now because obviously Gilbert could still get that 7-2 lead, and Zhao Guidong would be ruin the missed opportunity that he just had in that case.
Yeah, well, we're watching this little safety duo. I just want a little shout out to a good friend of mine, Finbar Ruan, who owns Cross Gun Snooker Club, of course, in Dublin. 66 years old, the snooker club is. Happy birthday to Finbar as the owner, and of course all the members there. Great traditional snooker club. Right on the canal. Pittsburgh. So the old Mountjoy jail.
So Gilbert in with the initial red. Still needs good cueing here on this green, and that's a lovely shot actually. Giving himself a chance here to open a 7-2 lead. Coming back tonight.
Got a decent angle on black or pink maybe to get close to the red, just to the right of the pink. Try and stun in behind it. Yeah, lovely shot. Maybe actually got into it too much. Would it like to have been a bit straighter on a slight angle. No. Oh, wow. How about that for a slice of fortune? Could have easily left that for Zhao Guidong, that red. And he's on the other red, which means that, well, at least he can take this red off the cushion and bring it into play, because he's going to need it, Zhao Guidong, if he gets another chance. Try and stun that red up towards the green pocket here. Good shot. Any other interesting or funny tweets, Dave, that suggestions for Dominic Dale's walk on or anything else?
Well, there's, I like this one actually from Ryan. He said, I've loved every minute of the coverage and the commentary. You're all completely bonkers, especially Ken.
Well,
I think that's what makes Judgment Day all the more enjoyable.
Yeah, yeah. Nothing new there then. Ooh, that was so close this time. I think he's going to leave it, is he? Is that red going to keep traveling? No. Once again, he's been fortunate. Guidong slowly comes to the table.
One question has been asked actually, Ken. Do you have a prediction of who's going to win the World Championship?
Ooh, yeah. Well, obviously, the men in form are, you know, Ronnie O'Sullivan, Judd Trump, of course, Mark Allen. I mean, Luca Brissell, the Crucible course, of course. We did mention it yesterday, you know, and And that's going to be the burning question. How is he going to cope coming back as defending champion? He hasn't played well this season. There's no doubt. Maybe only you know, a couple of appearances and invitations in the final. So it'll be interesting to see how he's going to cope. I'd like to see him do it. I'd like to see somebody break the Crucible course, and if anybody could do it, then you know, I would like to see Luca. But I think it's going to be between O'Sullivan, Mark Allen, Judd Trump, Mark Selby, I think. But you never know. I mean, who would have predicted Luca Russell last year? But I don't know. I think there's something about Ronnie this year. He wants that 8, doesn't he? You know, and maybe it might be written in the stars for him. Yeah, has he got away with it? Is it his turn to get away with it this time? Well, he hasn't. He's left it.
So Dave Gilbert 13 in front, with his chance now to open a pretty commanding advantage. Ryan Day 7-2 up on Scott Donaldson. We've got a 6-3 Joe O'Connor. All the rest are close, but Gilbert looking to extend the lead to 5 here and be just 3 away from the Crucible.
Well, he was actually hoping to get on the black there. And the little kiss on the pink. Is it dead straight? If it's dead straight, then he can't get on the red. I always look at the body language of a player. So he's obviously... Let me see, he might be on the black. Can't tell that camera angle. If he was on the black, he could try and pot the black and knock the red on and off the cushion and maybe into a better position, but from where he was gesturing, maybe he's just like gonna, yeah, he is on the black, so he's gonna play the red maybe from mid-distance. He will look at the scores. 21 in the lead, so red and pink or red and black will be enough. He won't need the yellow. Oh, wow. He hasn't got away with it this time. He's going to leave it. So a chance for Gudong.
Yeah, what a dramatic frame to end their session. Oh, was not too close with that. Is the green in? Well, it feels like a decider. It's actually to decide whether it's 7-2 or 6-3. Now then, again, Gilbert 21 in front. Red to middle. So we'll need brown and yellow. He made a very confident start this afternoon. He's left this a bit awkward though, this yellow. Still needs this in.
Oh, yeah, I don't like this. I mean, okay, he only needs the yellow, but this is... You see, he's coming around to have a look at the angle. It's into a blind pocket, which means you can't see the pocket when you're down on the shot. So... And it's not a shot that you can really hit hard. You just got to try and trickle this yellow towards the pocket and give it a chance to go in. If he digs down on the yellow, then it's missable. Now what he's doing there, he's gesturing, and he's going to try and go for the yellow into its pocket and try and hide the cue ball behind the blue, should he miss it. Playing 2 shots in 1 here, but it's missable, this yellow. Yeah, and have a look at the cue ball. Look where the cue ball was going. How do you miss it? It was well worked out. Simple green. And that should be 7-2. What a lead.
Yes, he was 5-0 up. so he's got that 5-frame lead back. It's been a hard-fought one, this, but Gilbert has a lot of breathing space now coming back this evening. They've got just over 2 hours to get themselves ready for the final session. A good start, early start needed, of course, by Zhao Guodong. So we've got, as Gilbert powers the pink in for a 7-2 lead, we've got one more match on table 6. It's an all-Chinese affair. We've seen Pang Junju win 2 frames on the black there. And this is what's happening now. He's 4-3 up, 22 in front in frame 8. So they've still got another one to play after this, although it's a discretion of the tournament directors. They may possibly bring them off. We'll see, give them a bit of time. That's in their hands, but this frame's still in the balance. It was 3-1 to Chao Peng in this, but Pang has fought back. Oh dear. Well, it could have been worse, I guess. Well, double kiss. Not quite sure where everything's going to finish. He has left this red potable. Chao Peng hasn't played at the Crucible since 2012. That's his only appearance. Pang was there last year on his debut. Lost day 1 to Ronnie O'Sullivan, 10-7. Played well in the last session, but not the first to go there in session 1 and just feel a bit overawed. Good pot. So 25 the lead with the pink. A bit of steel about Pang, I think. He's at 27 in the world. That's his highest ever ranking. He was in a final last season. It's not been actually the best season this year, just won last 16 at the International Championship, but he's one of those players, you know, can cause players problems for sure. He's only 24, still improving.
Yeah, very steady, isn't he? Oh, that was a bit of a fast one. Not as usual. Slow backswing, but very, very fast on the backswing. Good shot. Actually, it's been a... It's not too bad, that kiss, actually. I was going to say he's been a little bit unlucky, but I think the yellow passes the blue into the middle pocket.
Well, this frame is taking some winning, isn't it, one way or another? Real scrap fest. Just want to thank everyone for your contributions. We'll be back, of course, for the last session later, where we'll be following all these matches to a conclusion. We'll be hearing from the winners and looking ahead to the draw tomorrow.
Yeah, and thanks for all the tweets and messages on X, or Twitter, it's formerly known as, or Instagram. Keep them coming. We love your tweets, your messages, where you're from, where you're watching it, where you're dossing, skiving off work. And if you're not just sitting at home watching it, then I'm glad you're enjoying it. We're enjoying it. We're enjoying the excitement. All part of the excitement of this wonderful championships. Joe Davis, it was his birthday the other day. He would have been 100
124, was it?
123.
123, there you go.
Yeah.
I was the same age as Rob Walker.
Let's just see if Pang can knock this in. 24 in front. Yes, he can. That's a great pot. Now, the yellow would mean he would need yellow again. Yeah, Joe Davis started all this. 1927 first champion. In fact, before that, he wrote to the billiards authorities to try and get a world championship on, and they said there wasn't enough interest. Well, times have changed.
Times have changed, yeah. And of course, didn't he commission the cup for, what was it, £6, 10 shillings or something like that? Yeah.
Yeah.
And we still play for that cup today since 1926, 27. Yeah, amazing. Wonderful story. And a beautiful cup it is.
Now this yellow is for a 5-3 lead. In it goes. Two good pots there, the red and that yellow as well. So it's going to be 5-3, but all these matches, of course, are going to resume later. And there's plenty to play for. There's several very close, and it's going to be an exciting night, Ken.
Absolutely, yeah. It was last night as well, wasn't it? I've got a replica of the cup, and it was made. And it was the best, I think it was the best thing I've ever, one of the best investments that I've ever bought. But it was made from a company right here in Sheffield as well. So just thought I'd let you know that, Dave. Not that you're really interested, but there you go.
No, that's nice to know. Sheffield steel.
Sheffield steel.
Yeah.
Well, it's not made of steel, but you know, it's silver there. I'm not that cheap, you know.
Unlike you in 1997, it's not made of steel. Anyway, Pang has shown a bit of steel here, and he's going to be 5-3 in front with one frame still to play. But it's in fact, yeah, they are going to play the frame, I think. But we're going to start to wrap up our coverage of the first part of Judgment Day here. It's been a fascinating session, and we can wrap it all up now with Rob Walker.
Thanks very much to Dave and to Ken Doherty. What a shift they've both put in. They'll be heading off for a little break, and we will be back at 5 o'clock. You won't miss a single beat. The draw tomorrow, 8:45, 5 Live. It'll be on the red button, and it will be streamed on the BBC Sport website as well. A couple of these matches are quite one-sided. Ryan Day and Dave Gilbert just 3 frames away from securing their place in the draw. Remember, we've got 6 different nationalities on display. Here's a quick recap as to what you may have missed over this first session over the last couple of hours. Well, all eyes were on Jamie Jones and Neil Robertson. Jamie Jones got off to a fantastic start, taking the first 2, should have taken the first 3. Neil Robertson bounced back, but Jamie leading 5-4. Scott Donaldson's under huge pressure. He lost the first 2 against Ryan Day, managed to drag another frame back onto the board, but Ryan Day is just 3 frames away from a 15th appearance at the Crucible, going very well indeed. Zhang Jun started really well against Hossein Vafai, put them 3-0 down. Hossein, 19th player in the world in rankings, leads 5-4. Si Jiawei, Wu Yiza. Well, Wu Yiza was miles in front, and then Si Jiawei, after Wu Yiza's miss Brown, managed to turn it round, leading 5-4. Great match, that one. Noppon Siankam and Jackson Page, just 1 frame between them. Jackson Page worthy of that lead, especially coming back from 3-1 down. Noppon, remember, had a 1-4-7 earlier on in qualifying here at the English Institute of Sport. Cao Yupeng and Pang Jung-Siu. Well, Cao Yupeng took the first 3, but Pang Jung-Siu has really shown his class. He's had a couple of good runs in recent years, made the final of a WST Classic against Mark Selby. He's leading 5-3. Joe O'Connor up against Matthew Selt. Took the first 3. Selt managed to bounce back to 3 apiece, but O'Connor is good value for that 6-3 lead. Remember, he's never appeared at the Crucible. And Dave Gilbert, 7-2 up against Zhao Gudong. Last frame of the session was a really big one between those two. 6-3 would have given Zhao Gudong a much better chance. But 7-2, Dave Gilbert on the verge of securing another place at the Crucible. And remember, he made his debut back in 2007. He's been around a while and was within a single frame of making the final when he lost out to John Higgins when he was 13-9 up. It was one of the most amazing deciders I've ever been part of, or certainly to interview at the end. Right then, it is time for a break. you will not miss a single interview. One session to go after 8.5 blistering days of qualifying here at the English Institute of Sport. The Crucible is about 3 miles that way. It's tantalisingly close. Join us at 5 to find out who will complete the lineup for this year's Cazoo World Snooker Championship.
Photographs should be taken with that magnificent trophy.
Thank you.
Okay, deep breath now. Remember your technique.